I'm Christine Lisi. Quarterback Dylan Raiola, the number one prospect in the 2024 recruiting class, told ESPN he's committed to Georgia. He's the son of former NFL offensive lineman Dominic Raiola. The NBA still gathering more information on a social media post from over the weekend showing Grizzlies star Ja Morant holding a gun. The Grizzlies yesterday suspended him from all team activities. Morant 2 months ago was suspended 8 games by the league over a similar incident. Some advice for Morant from ESPN NBA analyst Kendrick Perkins.
We talking about 25 games or a year suspension. He better be careful if he's not out the league. Because no organization is going to continue. No organization is going to continue to deal with this. The NBA is not going to continue to deal with this. And you know what they say, 3 strikes you out. And I don't see him change at all.
Stanley Cup playoffs, the Stars, a -210 favorite, host the Kraken in Game 7 tonight, 8 Eastern on ESPN TV. This is the second Game 7 on the road for Seattle this postseason. The Golden Knights await the winner in the West Final.
It's Wrangler season out there. Open roads, endless horizons. Shop Wrangler.com for new denim styles, made for your next adventure. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
In the heart of Beer City, USA, 2 men, 1 journey to create a sports show unlike any other. Unfiltered, raw, and honest. One of them played a soccer goalie opposite Ben Stiller. The other once scored 6 points on Steph Curry. These guys know their shit.
Let's go!
Tank Spencer, Jeremy Green, The Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings.
It is the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Seen everywhere on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com. Click the live video link. Subscribe to the channel. Join us in the chat. It is officially...
One job.
It is officially...
Wedding week. Yeah.
That's right.
And we've made it this far. Amy has not wised up yet. Nobody tell her. We've gotten this far. We can't turn back now. Everything's been paid for. This is the least tense I've been in 6 months.
Jeremy's last days as an unmarried man.
Yes. I'm here for it. I told her from the get-go, I'd have married you 3 weeks into this at a Quiznos. I've been telling that for so long that Quiznos doesn't exist anymore.
It is wedding week, and we are all excited about the upcoming nuptials on Saturday. As Jeremy and HWA will finally make it official after years and years
5.
of calling her your wife.
5, yeah. This is 5.
It's
you know what I learned
happen.
when you're engaged for 5 years? It's really hard to find things that go with what you bought 5 years ago. Engagement ring. I didn't need a band. No.
It's also PGA Championship week.
I'm excited about that. That's frankly, that's my Sunday plan.
As
Married,
it should be.
All the libations, and then Sunday, Jeremy shall rest.
He tries to overcome the hangover of all hangovers.
Well, I mean,
watching the PGA Championship.
Well, I mean, and we considered doing the honeymoon right after, but her birthday is the 4th of July. That's the deadest period of the schedule.
Mm-hmm.
So we were like, you know what if we just pushed the honeymoon off like 6 weeks?
That's not a bad idea.
That way you're not. Have you ever flown hungover?
No.
It's awful. Who's shocked? I've done it no less than 77 times.
No one is shocked.
It's not great. We got people coming from out of town, so it's I mean, we needed some buffer between the nuptials and the honeymoon.
Yeah, I've never tried to fly with a hangover. I mean, unless you count that time that I ate goat stew the day before the international flight and went, oh no, and spent most of the flight back from the Dominican Republic in the lavatory.
Can I tell you a fun story? I swear to you, it's a hand of God true story. I have flown on no less than 600 domestic commercial flights.
Never used the bathroom.
I have never used a bathroom in an airplane ever.
Wow.
I've flown cross country 5 hours and just going, Nope.
Just refuse to.
Nope. I'll do it in my own pants before I do it in that little room back there.
That is weird.
Just something about that freaks me out.
Are you afraid of getting sucked out?
That's part of it? Okay. What are you, a cop?
The first time I ever got on an airplane, that was the first thing I did was go to the bathroom. I got to figure out how this works. How do you not get sucked out of that hole?
Well, I mean, I spent like 8 years thinking that it would just go on the villagers, and I didn't want to do that. That seems like a jerk
spray
thing to
behind
do.
you. Is that how that works?
It seems like a jerk thing to do. I'm not a smart man.
I have heard stories. That is.
I'm not a smart man. And, that seems like a nice segue into our opening story of the day.
Oh, gosh.
Because we have somebody in sports. He ain't too bright either.
Dumb.
I'm confounded.
I have tried to be on your side, guy. I've tried to be at the top of the Ja Morant let's go bandwagon. But you make it really, really hard. I am so sick and tired since the story came out. If you've been living under a rock for the last 2 days, Ja Morant was seen on another Instagram video holding a gun, and everybody has lost their minds over this, and rightfully so. The league is upset. The Memphis Grizzlies are upset. They've suspended him. He's going to be suspended by the league because they've already done this once. It was 2 months ago? 2 months ago that he posted himself. This was like a buddy. Like he's riding with a buddy. He's got he has a gun in his hands in the passenger seat. And his buddy goes on Instagram Live, and you can see as he turns the camera toward Ja kind of fumbles with the gun like, "Oh, dude, what are you doing?"
It's like, no, I'm not allowed to do this online anymore.
And then the camera cut off.
With just all of it. Just stop with all of it.
I don't understand.
I am officially to the point with Ja Morant that you are with Zion Williamson for a completely different reason.
I would agree.
If I'm the Memphis Grizzlies, I will call every team in the league, give me your best shot.
Yep.
I'm done.
Yeah.
I cannot do this anymore.
No.
I can't.
And here's the thing is I don't know why we're all so surprised. People are acting.
Is anybody actually surprised?
I don't know, but they're at least acting like they are. Like I was watching the pregame show yesterday for Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals, where Jason Tatum went nanners. We'll talk about that.
If you didn't watch that, let me. I'll condense it down into 8 seconds. What are we doing? They have 2 players. Why can't we defend either one of them? They have 3 guys on the court that can score. Never mind.
We'll be asking why you can't make a shot, Doc.
Oh, yeah. I'm not the one shooting. Blame James. Don't blame me. Not my fault.
In the pregame show yesterday, it was Greeny and all of the Stephen A. Smith and Jalen Rose and all the talking heads getting together to talk about Ja Morant. And I heard way more of we put too much pressure on young athletes than I really cared to. Are we going down this path?
We put too much pressure on young athletes.
We put so much pressure on these young athletes that they just sometimes they feel the necessity to act out in ways that we wouldn't like. And I'm like,
we say that about
so wait a minute.
8-year-olds.
So let's stop the presses here. Do not start turning Ja Morant into a victim of the system, because that's what this seems to be.
No, that's dumb. That's
exactly.
dumb.
Exactly.
Dumb.
This is a kid that has every advantage in the world and can't get out of his own way.
Well, and you say we put too much pressure on these young kids. Well, it's weird. There's only a handful of them that seem to really have a problem with this. Jets cornerback Sauce Gardner tweeted out, and I can't remember the verbatim because he very quickly deleted it. We all have guns. Doesn't anybody need to see them?
Exactly.
And I'll be honest with you, I have no problem with that. I have no problem with that response.
You shouldn't.
This gets to it, and I saw several people having this conversation over the weekend. Is he doing this on purpose? Because that's the only thing I can figure.
I don't know why you would. Why would you do this?
Because some people are just self-imploding. That's. I mean, look, this kid's hyper talented.
But then again, at that point, it doesn't become I'm doing this on purpose. It's I'm doing this because I can't help myself. I can't get out of my own way. I can't make logical decisions at the right moments. That's something that you would expect, or I guess, or I feel like we should expect from time to time from 23-year-old guys with millions and millions of dollars.
And I guess that's I'm not one that I don't begrudge somebody for what they make, but is it untoward of me to expect, I don't know, you to have an IQ above salad dressing if I'm paying you millions of dollars and you're the face of my franchise?
I don't feel like it is.
I don't either. I mean, because this is common sense, because we've already gotten you for this once. I understand young kids doing dumb things. Trust me, I was a young kid, and I still do dumb things, and I'm not young anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I completely get that. What I don't understand is that now you have done the exact same thing a second time. And for me, you know, as I started this with, you've been completely off Zion Williamson because he's never available. And you once told me very early in this process that you would have taken John Moran over Zion Williamson.
100%.
I don't think you can say that anymore. I don't. Which would you rather have? For me, it's Zion Williamson. It's not even close.
I would rather deal with the injury issues and the questions that I have about Zion of, you know, your best of ability is your availability.
Well, I mean, now they both have that problem because he may not play one game in the next season. That's entirely on the table.
It is.
And it well should be. And it very well should be. All because you can't stop going on Instagram Live. First of all, social media. Let me give you a crash course in social media from a guy that was I'm a marketing guy. Nobody cares. Okay? Just because people watch it does not mean they care.
Mm-hmm.
So you get on there and start doing all your whatever it is that you're doing, no one cares. I promise you that. And you're doing this for clicks because you got all these people that love you. Mm-hmm. And you just let every one of those people down.
Yeah,
because you wanted to brandish a firearm and an Instagram Live.
Mm-hmm. That's the funny thing about it to me is that, I mean, yes, was he being irresponsible? Was he being stupid after he had already gotten caught with, you know, doing this type of thing on social media? Yes. But he didn't mean to. That's the thing that gets me about this is like he was being an idiot and his buddy put him on blast, basically.
Well, you are the company you keep.
Oh, of course you are. Of course you are. And that's just the thing. Like at some point you have to realize that you don't need to live the lifestyle. You don't need to live the hip-hop lifestyle of it's just.
I'm not even going to any of that. You've already been popped for this once.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it literally shut your season down. You were the 2 seed in the West. You got absolutely dog-walked. And you know why? Because your best player hadn't been around the team in over a month for this exact same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You're not even fully through the next series before he does it again. I'm out. And this is one of the 10 most talented players in this league, period.
Mm-hmm.
I have no interest. I've heard, could the Knicks be interested? No way. No shot.
Well, I mean, maybe.
No shot. I don't care who it is. You can name any team in this league. I'm out. I want no part of this.
Yeah. The question is it, you know, is it
because it's getting worse over time. Do you remember his first couple years in the league? You virtually never heard him talk.
Mm-hmm.
There was never anything about him.
Mm-hmm.
Now we've had all of this in basically one calendar year.
Absolutely.
That's called evolving, and you're going the wrong direction. Now you're becoming the headache. Your play on the floor is still phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
But now you're becoming the headache.
Well,
I don't want a headache.
The first time it happens, you can – I don't want to say give him a pass because the league didn't give him a pass for it, but – I mean, you get that one, okay? We've taken care of it. We suspended you for 8 games. You're past it. You have another one, even a year removed, would be a major thing. It's been 8 weeks, if that.
Mm-hmm.
What are you not getting? And I don't know what it's going to take. It's going to take somebody. I think Michael Wilbon said this yesterday on the pregame show. It's going to take Ja disassociating himself from the people that he's been hanging out with, and he's got to find the guy or the crew or whatever that is going to boost him up, basically. Keep him from doing stupid things.
Well, I mean, this is the Shane Battier rule. This is the Udonis Haslem rule, is that you have the older guy in the locker room that is almost like the paternal figure in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Memphis doesn't have that. And I'll be honest with you, if I'm one of those guys now, I have no interest in being that for you. None. I don't. I do not want to deal with this kid because this kid doesn't get it. And now it scares me. The thing that would worry me the most if I'm Memphis, nothing he's done so far is actually really harmful to anybody. It's just insanely stupid. But now you take all of these situations and put them in a vacuum and realize that they could have been really harmful.
Absolutely.
And then you get to that, okay, am I going to be the enabler that continues to allow this kid to make bad decisions until he makes a really bad one?
No, I think,
and I'm good.
I believe this is one where Adam Silver, as the commissioner of the NBA, needs to step in and he needs to lay the hammer down.
Full season, one full year
season. But I wouldn't disagree.
One full year.
If he comes in and says Ja Morant has to be gone for a calendar year. And
it's not even because of what he did. It's because of the complete, absolute disregard for his team, the fans, the league, after they just told him not to do this. And now you've done it again.
Yep.
I'm good. And that will be the extent of what we talk about that.
Indeed.
But today's a big day.
It is a big day.
It's a big day. If you follow us on the social medias, you know that at 4 o'clock today, we have a very large announcement. This is the biggest contest we have ever done. It is not close. And it involves all of you, not just one winner. Got a whole lot of things for charity, and I'm sure somebody's going, but you're talking about fantasy football in May. You're right, we are, and at 4 o'clock we will explain to you why.
Indeed, your chance to have all your dreams come. Well, maybe not all your dreams come true, but at least your fantasy football dreams come true. We'll give you the details on that in the 4 o'clock hour.
We have our first one of these of the day.
I'm your huckleberry.
It's from our buddy Armchair Commentary, who will be very involved in this here contest that we're getting ready to announce. In the NHL, rookies typically live with vets so they can learn how to not be an idiot. This is a miss. And I'll be honest with you, there are certain NFL teams that do that. There are NBA teams that do that. There's a reason Udonis Haslem is still in the NBA. It's not because he's a good player. I think he played 60 minutes the entire year. It's because he's the guy that, when young guys come in, this is who you learn to be a vet, how you learn how to be a pro.
Right.
Memphis doesn't really have that. They had a lot of Dylan Brooks. There's a reason they disassociated themselves from him the minute the season ended. It's not he's not a good player. He'll catch a big deal from somebody. Don't know who it is, but he'll catch a big deal from somebody. It's just not going to be Memphis because they're tired of being in this game.
Mm-hmm. And it's unfortunate that now you have Ja Morant doing the same kind of thing, basically showing his ass, and here we go. Like, your entire team is just going to be decimated because of it, and I'm actually not sure that Memphis wouldn't be better off just doing it.
Doing
just
what?
Blowing it up.
I don't know that you blow it up because there's still going to be teams that would be interested in him. But for me, and Crazy Blade in our YouTube comment said, looking forward to the NBA draft lottery. A lot of teams are, because there is a generational talent at 1. There are 2 what we think will be very high-level pros at 2 and 3. And the biggest problem with building a team in the NBA, it's not finding a star. There are a lot of stars. All right, Gilbert Arenas was a star.
Mm-hmm.
It's finding the right star. And I don't think Memphis has. And this is case in point number 17 of why.
You are in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville.
Did you know Ingalls only sells USDA choice and prime cuts of meat? Maybe it's time to reward yourself. Our butchers cut all our meat fresh in the store every day. Grass-fed, organic, you name it. Not only that, we'll even cut it to order just the way you like it. And we grind meat fresh in the store multiple times a day. It's all in the bag. That's the best meat in town for the best folks in town. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, We work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
Join your Asheville Symphony and world-renowned banjo player Bela Fleck on Saturday, May 20th for the Asheville Amadeus Festival finale at 8 p.m. at the Thomas Wolfe Auditorium. You'll hear Fleck's own Imposter Concerto for banjo, music from West Side Story, the iconic Jazzy Caravan, and more. Saturday, May 20th at 8 p.m. at the Thomas Wolfe Auditorium. Tickets at AshevilleSymphony.org at 828-254-7046 or at the Harrah's Cherokee Center Asheville box office.
I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I've told you about how your nose is the body's air filter, that Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like Ricardo, quote, "This is one of the greatest inventions ever. I know this may sound like I'm exaggerating, but this sucker is amazing. The first time I did it, I couldn't believe what came out of my sinuses. I could breathe with ease. My wife just bought one too. Thank you for this product," unquote. He's one of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
Dr. Rick here. Another sign you're becoming your parents is getting particular about details that don't matter.
The craziest thing happened when we got tacos the other day. Was it Wednesday or Thursday we got tacos? I know it wasn't Tuesday because that's when I went to my hairdresser. Shoot, what day was it?
See how we all lost interest there?
Progressive can't help you from becoming your parents, but we can help you compare rates on home insurance with Home Quote Explorer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
The Sportsocracy.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
Welcome back into the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. You can see us everywhere on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel so you can join us in the chat. Soaring Eagle 175 said if anybody blows it up, it needs to be Philly and Phoenix.
Well, Philly may not have a choice. Philadelphia's probably missed their window at this point. Because I don't think James Harden comes back, and I'm not sure you would want him to.
I don't think you should.
I have heard probably for 6 solid months that Houston is going to make an aggressive run at him to be the star around their group of youngsters. And if Houston wins the lottery, and you've got Wembanyama and Jabari Smith that you drafted last year, all those young guys.
Jalen Green.
If I'm James Harden, that would be rather attractive to me, especially because the West is not nearly as good as to me. It's not as good as the East, and it's old. You look at the vast majority of teams in the West; they're aging poorly. Like, I don't know, the Phoenix Suns. Hey, here's a great idea. Let's gut our entire roster for Kevin Durant. And then get just car ramrodded in a Game 6 in our place.
To me, Harden going back to Houston makes perfect sense because, he'll go back and they'll never win a thing.
Well, it's hard to let people down in the playoffs if you don't make the playoffs.
Exactly.
Modern problems require modern solutions.
The Philadelphia 76ers, for the 3rd year in a row, losing in the Eastern Conference semifinals.
Don't blame me. I didn't do it. I can't shoot.
3 years ago, they brought in Doc Rivers, and they were like, this is going to be it. I tried to tell you.
You want to hear
Doc ain't that guy.
The greatest stat I think I've heard all weekend long. Doc Rivers has lost 10 Game 7s. Do you know how many coaches are even in the ballpark of that?
Oh, God, I'd imagine it's 2.
There's not one that's lost more than 6.
Okay.
He's lost 4 more than any coach in NBA history.
That's not good.
That's hard to do.
Yeah, it's not good.
And you look at Joel Embiid and how good he is. I'm not going to lie. I was super stoked for a Denver Nuggets, Philadelphia 76ers final. Now I'm looking at all 4 teams that are left going, oh, I've got a ticket that says Denver Nuggets plus a huge number, and I have a weird feeling that that's going to cash off about the time of my honeymoon.
Nice.
I'm very excited about it. I'm very excited. But, I mean, in terms of what Soaring Eagle said, blowing it up, Philadelphia's not really going to have a choice. I don't think you can give the money to James Harden that he's going to want.
No.
You see what this is going to be. You're going to be the second, third, fourth best team in the East for, 3 or 4 more years?
Mm-hmm.
Whee! Welcome to being the New York Knicks with Carmelo Anthony.
They make a play for Jaylen Brown.
No. And can we stop talking about Houston or about Boston trading Jaylen Brown?
They're not going to.
That makes zero sense.
Well, I mean, after they have to wrap up $600 million in those 2 players.
And it's an organization that prints money.
That's true.
By the way, if you're wondering why we've started with 2 segments on basketball, look at the ratings. Because the people with their eyeballs are telling us it's not bad.
Mm-hmm. It's not NFL numbers, but nothing is.
I will be curious to see what it looks like in 2 series with the Denver Nuggets and the 7-seed Miami Heat. See if that continues.
I think as long as you still have LeBron and the Lakers, and you still have the Boston Celtics.
Well, I mean, you're only going to have LeBron and the Lakers for 5 games. And then, que sera.
We shall see. I believe you said the same thing 3 years ago.
Yeah, I was in the bubble. No bubble now. No nap times for old man LeBron.
Yeah.
Now you just get Nikola Jokic.
All those people who said that bubble basketball wasn't real.
Yeah, now we have the exact same 4 teams in the finals 3 years later.
Exactly.
I think that's the thing I'm the most happy about.
I feel bad for Joel Embiid. I feel bad that Joel Embiid is going to be another Charles Barkley. He's going to be another guy who's a superstar on a big market team and just never gets it done. And it's not his fault. I don't feel like any of this is his fault.
I would tend to agree with you.
I mean, he was the basis of the process, sure, but everything that's happened around him, of the Ben Simmons thing and James Harden and I mean even Jimmy Butler, and I feel like these have all been just missteps by the Philadelphia organization.
Well, it wasn't missteps. You did what you had to do. The roster was awful, so you blew it up. You wound up with Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid and what was the other one's name? Markelle Fultz.
Oh, yeah, that went well.
By the way, every time that you decide, hey, let's blow it up for draft picks, I want you to look at the Phoenix 70s or the Philadelphia 76ers and realize you only hit on one of those. All right, you signed Tobias Harris, and he's the second best player on this team the vast majority of the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, maybe we don't worry so much about tanking. You know, maybe it's not a big deal. Because you look around and go, well, what did it do for Philadelphia?
Right.
Okay, so you were vaguely competitive for a few years.
Now, Doc Rivers says he's fully expecting to come back for another season. Are you expecting Doc Rivers to be back for another season?
I can't imagine you would fire him because I can't imagine who you would hire in place of him. I mean, what are we going to do? Take all of these halfway competitors and just rearrange deck chairs on the Titanic?
Yes, I think that's
Nick
what
Nurse and put him in Milwaukee. We'll put Mike Budenholzer in Phoenix. You take out Doc, maybe he takes some job somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those things that NBA teams do. It doesn't really mean anything. Well, we fired the coach. Well, the coach doesn't mean much. I mean, look around the NBA finals or the conference finals now. You've got Mike Malone, Joe Mazzulla, Darvin Ham, and yes, Eric Spoelstra. I think you're worrying way too much about who the coach is. It matters way more who your second star is.
I was going to say, I feel like the only one of those coaches in the Final Four or in the conference finals that I feel like you can put the majority of this on is Spoelstra.
Oh, I would agree. Austin Adams in our YouTube comment said they need more first-time coaches. We're just recycling the same idiots over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I agree with you.
I mean, you're kind of stuck in this position where
you have 2 first-time head coaches in the conference finals.
Yeah,
Mike Malone, I think he's a good coach. I don't think he's a great coach.
But the leash is so short on these coaches that right now in this cycle you have 2 championship coaches that are awaiting jobs. And if Philadelphia decides somebody's head needs to roll for this, I don't think it's going to be anybody but Doc Rivers.
Well, like I said, I see no path that you bring James Harden back. And then I really don't know what you do from there because it's not like you have any money.
Nope.
You don't have a ton of assets. I mean, you could move Tyrese Maxey, I guess. But even then, what does that really do? And then I look on the other side to Phoenix and just go, you're done like dinner. That team is not good. I understand that people want to make Kevin Durant into something he's not. I hear this all the time, that he's a top 5, top 10 player of all time. No, he's not. He's a horrendously bad defender. He's a horrendously bad teammate from everything I have ever been told. And have you noticed this weird – it's a weird tradition with Kevin Durant that he comes in with all this hype and he almost always lets you down, unless he is directly tied to Stephen Curry, who is one of the 10 best players to ever live. That's weird. Kevin Durant's a phenomenal scorer. Phenomenal. He's also 6'11", and I outweigh him by 40 pounds.
But he also can't win it by himself. And that's where he's been.
Phoenix is not winning it by yourself. You had Devin Booker, who is one of the 5 to 7 best players in the league, and you were still never close.
Right.
I'm not saying this because I'm a Nuggets fan. I'm saying this because I watched a lot of that series. I never at any point, and Tank, you can vouch for this because we talked about it every single day, I never feared Phoenix for a second. I told you it would be out in 5 games. They lost one more game than I expected, and the 6th one was not even competitive. It looked like a G League team trying to contend with the Nuggets.
That it did.
And I'm stunned that anybody's surprised by that.
Yeah.
You wrap all this money up into Chris Paul, who's 84 years old. Now I hear all the talk of him going to the Lakers. Like, yes, please add another geriatric to the Lakers roster. I feel like you did a lot of things really well, and that would be taking a huge step back. And let's look at Phoenix and go, what you said about Embiid, I feel the same way about Devin Booker. I'm just looking around going, man, you're on a ship here that is feeling eerily familiar. And I've seen this a lot of times where you have the superstar with the historically bad franchise. They have a little run, and then over time it just who you are takes over.
Yep.
The Kevin Durant deal was awful. We can agree on that, right?
Sure.
You gut your entire roster for one player. That's a terrible idea.
But you need superstars to win in the NBA.
And I understand that. You also need somebody that can play off the bench.
Absolutely.
They were playing guys in that series with the Nuggets that I genuinely either A, forgot were in the league, or the more I watched them, I couldn't understand why they were in the league.
They've got a lot to do. They've got a lot to do.
And firing Monty Williams, to me, you talk about blaming the wrong guy. You want somebody to blame? DeAndre Ayton is feeling really high on that list.
Absolutely.
I said last year I couldn't believe they matched the deal from Indiana. I'd let him go.
But does part of that not fall back on the coach?
No. In this situation, I would say no.
All right, we'll talk about it. Coming up, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get just a bit outside. We'll talk about those Phoenix Suns, what they need to do moving forward to fix whatever this is.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Mountain thunderstorms coming in from the northwest tonight. Temperatures in the upper 50s in the valley. We'll see scattered thunderstorms around for the Tuesday forecast. Got a little front hanging out in the neighborhood, giving us some clouds here top of the work week. I think we'll push that on through Wednesday, Thursday. Lower humidity. Sunshine returns to Asheville. Temperatures in the low 70s and lows at night in the 50s Wednesday, Thursday. I'm meteorologist Scott Laria-Moore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Bank of America. Bank of America has powerful digital solutions for local and global businesses, so you can make every move matter. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. Bank of America, N.A. Copyright 2023.
It's not too late for a deep spring cleaning on your home. Give my friends at Zero Res Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning a call. Right now, mention ESPN Asheville and you'll get 3 rooms of carpet cleaning for only $129. Book online at ZeroResAsheville.com.
Dr. Rick here. Another sign you're becoming your parents is getting particular about details that don't matter.
The craziest thing happened when we got tacos the other day. Was it Wednesday or Thursday we got tacos? I know it wasn't Tuesday because that's when I went to my hairdresser. Shoot, what day was it?
See how we all lost interest there?
Progressive can't help you from becoming your parents, but we can help you compare rates on home insurance with Home Quote Explorer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
In this week's Marketers Report, Patrizio Spagnoletto, Global Chief Marketing Officer, Direct-to-Consumer for Warner Brothers Discovery, weighs in on building trust.
Trust is a really hard thing to build and a really easy thing to destroy, and we have to be very respectful about that. Our partnership with iHeart has really helped us build that trust and that relationship with the on-air talent.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, trusted influencers, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
For more information about contests on the station, log on to ESPNAVL.com.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
It is the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, coming to you live from the Ingalls studio. And over the weekend, we got another example of a man who never says quit. Well, I mean, he did say quit for 37 years, but made that promise, and he finally fulfilled that promise. The head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Todd Bowles, graduated from college over the weekend, getting his bachelor's degree in youth and community development. 59 years old, walked across the stage, Mount St. Mary's University, 37 years after he left the school to enter the NFL. The only thing that I could think of was, thank God he's making a plan for life after football.
No doubt. Life after the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Because, I mean, he's going to be around the game forever, but geez, I need you to be gone. Congratulations to Todd. I think it's awesome that, you know, he can be that nice little story of you're never too old to stop learning. And he tried to get all of the graduates excited about, you know, what was to come, and they all just fell asleep before the speech was over. I hate him so much. I hate the fact that he's the one of the feel-good stories of the weekend. Respect for finishing your degree. Told his mom that he would do it. She unfortunately passed away in 2009. And before she passed away, she told Todd, go back and get your degree. You always promised me you would. So he fulfilled the promise to his mom. Good for him. Now I need him to stop being my head coach.
Hey, and maybe one day I'll do the same thing.
Go open a youth center.
Speaking of finishing what you started, the XFL championship over the weekend. Let's go. You made it to the end.
Woo.
Thank God. Do you realize how few people were watching this by the end?
17.
We don't have the championship game numbers yet. Their championship game was Saturday night.
Okay.
You had the Arlington Renegades and the D.C. Defenders. Bob Stoops finally won a big game. Yay. The XFL champion had a sub-500 record. That's hard to do in an 8-team league. That's hard to do. So we have the numbers from the semifinal games. So the two that led into the championship.
Okay.
Would you care to take a stab at what the average viewership was on ESPN? Now, let me position this. The NBA playoff ratings have been somewhere in the 6 to 8 million average viewers rating.
You're already putting too high of a bar on
Oh,
this.
no doubt. No, I'm just trying to position this so that you understand what the numbers mean.
Okay.
So you were 6 to 8 million, depending on the teams for the NBA playoffs, on the same network. Now, understand that these games have not really had a lot going against them. They positioned them in a way that they were pretty standalone. So would you like to take a stab at what the average viewership for the XFL playoffs has been?
487,000.
You're too low, but not by much.
Oh.
It's 576.5. For just a point of comparison, every golf tournament ever has beaten that. Every PGA tournament ever has beaten that.
Nice.
Every NASCAR race ever has beaten that. And those are sports that we don't even historically like. Okay, can we be done with this, please?
Y'all said you wanted spring football. Oh, spring football. It'll be so good. Really?
It's
terrible.
horrendous.
It's terrible. And now you get not only one spring football league, you got two that are equally terrible.
Yeah, they're equally terrible. I've watched not a second.
No.
I couldn't.
Why would you?
Frankly, you could tell me they were playing 15 on 15, and I'd go, it's just great. I just think it's very innovative. I'm really glad they're trying this. Does Donald Trump still own a team? Oh, wait, that's the wrong USFL.
It's just wrong. We don't care.
Is there anything that can be done? And I'm still sticking to my guns of what I've said long ago.
Maybe.
All right, just hear me out, because I'm ready to go even a full step further.
Okay.
The NFL draft just happened.
Mm-hmm.
All right, it was 3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks, 2.5 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
If you started the season right now, you get out of mini camps, these undrafted free agent guys that they can't make the roster or whatever the case may be, but you give every NFL team like 8 slots. All right, you can put 8 guys on a roster. We'll even put your logo on the back of the helmet. Would it not make you just slightly more likely to watch this?
Slightly.
To me, I would watch it.
I'm sure you would.
Because I'm one of those that I'm really digging deep on the 90 guys that the Jets have in camp. And I'm looking at guys like Donovan Knight or somebody like that. I don't really know how you're going to make this roster. If I could check you on a USFL roster or an XFL roster, now all of a sudden it's a little more intriguing.
I would still say your watch time of the season would go from nothing to 10.5 minutes.
That's
a
substantial jump. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, not really. Not really when you count how many games did they have?
10.
They had 10
There's
games.
10 regular season, and then the 2 that played in the final played 2 playoff games.
A minute a game's not enough for you to show up on the ratings. Like, to me, we don't care. There are some people who would care if there was a Jets practice guy or your favorite team's practice guy.
The biggest thing that they're doing wrong here is the timing. Because your championship was Saturday.
This
is officially to the time where we don't have anything else to talk about. People are getting mad at us in the comments for talking about basketball. What would you like us to talk about?
I don't think the timing matters. I really don't.
I do.
I don't feel like you would get any kind of an audience no matter when you put this on.
Well, the thought is, and I've always thought this was a bit of a misnomer, is that the thought is that you can't do anything in the summer because people are going on vacations. And okay, so how long do you think people go on vacation? You think we're looking at the Rockefellers here who are taking just the month of June and July? It's all out because everybody's at the beach just
We're
partying.
summering in the Hamptons.
I mean, do you sleep? At some point, you have to lay down. Do you watch something when you do that? Because I can't sleep without the television on.
I really don't think it matters. I think it's all about the level of competition. I feel like we get more out of college football than we do out of the XFL
no doubt.
and the
It's not even
USFL.
close.
These guys, I don't know who any of these guys are. And I mean, I host a sports show. I pay pretty close attention to football.
Luis Perez, who was your XFL MVP.
And nobody cares. Nobody cares about these guys. And I know that might sound harsh to say, but I feel like the only way that you could try to get people to watch this is to go like, full on like rock and jock, like you want to do with baseball. I feel like if you played like 7-on-7, you'd have a much better chance of getting us to watch. We definitely don't care about the offensive linemen and the defensive linemen in this league.
Well, no, but you don't care about the offensive and defensive line. Well, defensive line, edge rushers. You don't care about the defensive tackles and the offensive tackles and in the NFL.
We
of
do,
course you don't care about it.
We do because they're protecting our assets.
Yeah, but you're not going to sit there and really zoom in on. I'm trying to think of the Ali Marpet and his ability to. No, I want a good offensive lineman. I don't necessarily want to talk about him.
Mm-hmm.
I think there is something to this. But see, this is what happens when, and I'm about to throw shade at somebody that a lot of people like, and I'm sorry. It's just the way it is. This is what happens when you get somebody like Dwayne The Rock Johnson involved in this. Because he wants to make everything a show because he's an entertainer. He's not a football guy. But he played at Miami. Yeah, he played about 9 snaps more than I did.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe calm down on how he was this great force at Miami. No, he was a rotational player that then became a very famous pro wrestler because he has a very famous pro wrestler family, and he was very good at it. That doesn't make you a football guy.
Mm-hmm.
Because the football people would look at these rosters, and I'm a draft nerd that grades a bajillion players a year. There are guys in this league that I don't know. That's never going to work unless they're tied to something that you care about. That is what gets your eyes.
But
things that you have an emotional attachment to.
But if they're tied to NFL teams, would the NFL teams put any guys that mattered
practice squad guys
on these lists or on these teams?
Practice squad guys. Guys that are.
See, I'm out. Like, I couldn't care less.
Well,
like, if you're going to take your developmental rookies and throw them into
You're not taking anybody you used a draft pick on, for sure. But these priority undrafted free agents, and there were a lot of these guys, a lot of guys that you care about way more than you're letting on. Frankly, I kind of feel the urge to pull up your Buccaneers undrafted free agent list and just say, you're telling me you wouldn't watch if he was playing this. I don't know who you signed.
I don't either. That's the problem, because I don't care.
And see, that's one of those things that irritates me about you is that you don't care about things like that.
Because they're not going to make the roster.
They might.
And if they do,
they might.
And if they do, and they come up and like, oh, look at this guy. He's going to be awesome. Guess what? I'm going to learn his name in due time.
See, and for me,
you want to forecast it. You want to be the guy that you want to be the guy that gets to go to training camp, pick which players they can keep.
Oh, I can do that every year anyway.
I know you can, but that's what I'm saying. Is
see, but I want to.
Most of us don't care.
But here's the problem. For me, you get a lot of these guys, and when mini camps really kick into full effect, and you have all the starters and you have all the guys, you'll start hearing these names. All right, I've already heard a slew of them anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You'll start hearing these names. And then the guys go into the preseason, and maybe you flash, but you can't make the roster. Now, and this is me as a marketing guy, I'm thinking about this from the NFL perspective. What would preclude me from buying the USFL and using it as a filter system the way we used to do with NFL Europe? Because here's the thing, that worked.
Mm-hmm.
It was a long time ago, but it worked.
That's where Brad Johnson came from.
Mm-hmm. It's where a lot of guys, it's where Kurt Warner came from.
Mm-hmm.
He's in the Hall of Fame. That worked. This does not work. It just doesn't. When you've got somebody like me that's even sitting here going, okay, we're in Northwestern State, I think. And I found myself doing that.
And I also feel like part of the problem is that because it doesn't make money, because they don't have fans, because they haven't had fans. Nobody cares about these games because they can go. I'm not going to go to Birmingham to watch some team play. If I'm a fan of Michigan or whatever, I'm not going to the game.
And see, that's the most overrated thing on the planet.
Going to the game?
The in-stadium, what they're making off ticket sales pales in comparison to what a good TV deal will net you. They don't care. They've made that abundantly clear.
Sure, but you can't. I don't feel like you can expect to build any type of a fan base or buzz about a team if you don't play where your fans can go. Am I wrong?
I think you're.
I mean, if they said we're kicking off this NFL season and all of the games are going to be based in 6 cities, and
we'd still watch it in droves.
Oh, I'm sure you would, because you have a fan base already.
But that's the thing, is that
you
can't start up a league and expect a really rabid fan base. Think about the sports that work, all right? The NFL, obviously. The NBA, all right? Think about where that works. The Lakers, the Celtics, the Knicks. Why does that work? Because they have fan bases that have been built over many, many years.
Mm-hmm.
Major League Baseball, same thing. But it's really just the Yankees, the Red Sox, the Dodgers, the Braves, these stalwart franchises that have loyal fan bases, and then as the outliers fall off, the cream rises to the top.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason that the Braves and the Dodgers and the Yankees and the Red Sox have won as much as they have over the last 25 years. So now you're trying to start these things like the XFL is, like the USFL is. You're trying to start a fan base from nowhere. And look, and this won't be a popular opinion, but it's the truth. The WNBA's had this exact same problem. You have absolutely no fan base because these teams didn't exist 25 years ago. So you don't have legacy fans that are, well, I grew up a New York Liberty fan. You're just now getting to the point where that's even possible because your youngest fans would be 28 years old right now. So it takes a lot of time to do that. And you're trying, and then you keep recycling these every 2 years. So what's the path? You use something that's already established. Because I got news for you, and you said this before the show that we've worked too long together that we know what each other's thinking.
Right.
I'm going to, and I'm not going to say you're a liar. I'm going to say you're throwing out some fiblets.
Okay.
That if you had 8, 10, 12 players that were tied to your Tampa Bay Buccaneers that they had some form of affinity for, you would watch exponentially more than what you have watched of this. You say
I will
10
concede
minutes.
that. I will concede.
You say
that.
10 minutes, I'll say, if there's a running back that has that little goofy Bucko Bruce on the back of his helmet, and he starts just annihilating teams.
I'll give you the name. Give you the name. I pulled up the list of UDFAs that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers signed. The name that would make me watch is Raheem Jarrett.
There you go.
Wide receiver out of Maryland.
There you go.
Liked him in college.
That guy
I would watch to see him develop.
So that guy goes through OTAs. All right,
not a lot of it, but I'd watch.
So he goes through OTAs. He signed with the Bucs. They're not really liable for much here. You get the insurances. You tell these guys that, look, you get hurt here, there will be an injury settlement, but this is not going to be life-altering money for you. You are taking a risk here to get on the field.
Mm-hmm.
But then you get Raheem Jarrett, and all of a sudden he goes 300-yard games in a row against a corner for the Panthers, a corner for the Saints, and a corner for the Vikings. All of a sudden, you're going to go, okay, I'm watching this.
Mm-hmm.
I want to watch this kid because he may end up on my roster one day. And it's not competing with anything else.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm completely out to lunch here. I don't think I am.
No, you're not completely out to lunch. I still just feel like it would be a blip.
No doubt.
But
it's never
anything-
going to be huge.
But anything is better than 500,000 people.
No doubt. And I'm just looking at this from the perspective of we are two people that do a sports show every single day. All right? 3 hours of content every day on the NFL when nobody's doing anything is very difficult.
Yes.
So you get into this little sweet spot. You've got NBA playoff games every other day. There's a lot of empty inventory here where things could get exciting for specific kinds of fans. You just have to do it the right way. And as long as you're trusting Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and these other guys that are the figureheads of this, it's not going to work.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. When we come back from the break, hey, guess what? It'll be the 4 o'clock hour. Time for the big announcement. You like fantasy football? Well, we got a chance for you to have a fantasy football season you'll never forget.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Tired of getting dinged by monthly fees on your checking account? You need Simple Checking from Home Trust Bank. With Simple Checking, you get all the essential checking services for free, including 100% online access and a free Visa debit card. It's everything you need from a checking account, but no hoops, no surprises, no monthly fees. Stop by today or call 800-627-1632. Simple Checking at Home Trust. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Live life to the fullest. You hear that all the time, but it's easier said than done when you're in pain. QC Kinetics is in the business of giving people back their quality of life, providing relief for chronic joint pain in the most non-invasive way possible, using regenerative treatments from your body's own natural biologics. Painful knees, hips, shoulders, or back? QC Kinetics concentrates these impactful treatments right at the source of your pain, directly applying healing properties where you need them the most. And best of all, you walk into the office and walk right out after treatment. No surgery, no downtime, and patients are raving about the results. Finally, being able to play golf, hike, walk your dog, enjoy time with your family. Don't wait one more day. Get started today with a call to QC Kinetics for your complimentary consultation. 823-333-9517. That's 822-333-9517. In Asheville and Greenville, that's 822-333-9517. 822-333-9517.
Hear new music first on your free iHeartRadio app.
This is Lars.
James from Metallica here.
And this is iHeartRadio.
What's up? This is Mike Shinoda from Linkin Park.
We're the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah. The free iHeartRadio app is where the biggest stars in the world connect with you. Download it today.
DQ presents The Sound of Summer Calling. Hey, it's me, Summer. I know you're busy with Beach Days Little League games and all the other fun in the sun, but you gotta get to DQ ASAP Pronto right now. The new Summer Blizzard menu is here, and it brought 5 iconic summer flavors, like new peanut butter puppy chow and s'mores. Oh yeah, it's back. Oh, that's my other line. Everyone is pumped about this new DQ Summer Blizzard menu. I gotta go. See ya, DQ. Get it in the app. DQ. Happy tastes good.
Heart failure, carpal tunnel syndrome, shortness of breath, stomach issues, lower back pain. How does it all add up? If you have heart failure and any of those seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar, it's time to talk with your cardiologist and get the full picture. They may add up to transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy. ATTR-CM is a rare and underdiagnosed disease. Recognize the signs and discuss them with your doctor soon. Learn more at connectwithyourheart.com. That's connectwithyourheart.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
The Sportsocracy.
One thing that you're going to have to remember, one most important factor, is to protect your quarterback, me.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Mountain thunderstorms coming in from the northwest tonight. Temperatures in the upper 50s in the valley. We'll see scattered thunderstorms around for the Tuesday forecast. Got a little front hanging out in the neighborhood, giving us some clouds here top of the work week. I think we'll push that on through Wednesday, Thursday. Lower humidity. Sunshine returns to Asheville. Temperatures in the low 70s and lows at night in the 50s Wednesday, Thursday. I'm meteorologist Scott Laria-Moore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. At Lowe's, they're always bringing pros more ways to save. Right now, get a Flex 24-volt half-inch drill and driver kit for only $99. What's $179? You save $80. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Valid 3/20 to 7/20 while supplies last. U.S. only.
On Sunday, June 11th, it's the second annual Rad Half Marathon and 10K. Both races, which are point-to-point and begin at Pack Square in downtown Asheville, are USATF certified. The race concludes with a finisher medal at the Wedge at Foundation with live music as well. And there's also cash prizes for the overall top 3 male and female winners of the 10K. Part of the proceeds benefit the Greenbuilt Alliance, Elida Home, and iDream Athletes Foundation. For more information and to get signed up, go to idaf.net, idaph.net. Proudly sponsored by iHeartMedia, Asheville.
Humans can do a lot of amazing things.
Fighting bugs?
Ew, a bug, get it.
Isn't one of them. STEM is powered by active ingredients found in plants to fight off bugs safely and effectively when used as directed. STEM, rooted in nature, optimized by science.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
This is SportsCenter.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are. I'm Christine Lisi. Quarterback
And-
Dylan Raiola, the number one prospect in the 2024 recruiting class, told ESPN he has committed to Georgia. He's the son of former NFL offensive lineman Dominic Raiola. The process of gathering more information on the latest situation involving Grizzly star Ja Morant continues for the NBA. Morant, seen in a social media post over the weekend holding a gun, has been suspended by the Grizzlies from all team activities. 2 months ago, the league suspended Morant 8 games over a similar situation. Memphis's front office has a difficult task ahead dealing with the face of the franchise, notes ESPN's Bobby Marks.
You basically built this roster around him. He's the face of your franchise. He's everywhere. As this roster goes, you have to have basically Ja Morant as your main guy. So yeah, I mean, there's the discipline part of it, but then there's the certainly the team part of it as far as how how you handle it.
Bobby Marks on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Stanley Cup playoffs, Kraken Stars, Game 7 tonight, 8 Eastern, ESPN TV.
Do you own or rent your home? Sure you do. Fortunately, Geico makes it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. It's a good thing, too, because having a home is hard work. Go to geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you could save. Geico.com. Easy.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Green, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy, presented by Ingalls Supermarkets.
This is the Sportsocracy live in the Ingalls studio. And we are heard, of course, on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400, and everywhere you go on the iHeartRadio app. Seen as well on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can join us in the chat. And we've got a big announcement to make. It's all about the battle for the belt.
So all of this is intertwined, and people have asked us, why are you talking about a fantasy football contest in May? Well, there's two really just basic reasons as to why. One, we love football, and that's what we do. The other is this announcement here. So if you're watching us on the YouTube, you're going to see the rules of and the things of this contest appear on the screen. This is called Beer City's Ultimate Fantasy Draft. All right. Last year, we got a lot of feedback from Battle of the Belt, things we did right, things we did wrong, things that we could have done better. And one of them was, but what would it take for us to get you two to come host our draft? And we heard that a lot of times right around the draft. And it was too late. We couldn't do anything with it at that point. And so Tank and I started conspiring on, there might be something to that. So we'll announce more about this later. This is really about the contest. There will be ways for you to get us involved with your fantasy drafts as well. And as always, this benefits the Eblin Charities, 2 of their projects, the Tools for Schools Early, St. Nicholas Project Late.
Yes.
So the grand prize of this is going to be that we have teamed with the Draft Experience. It is a company that basically what they do is provide red carpet draft experiences, and they've done a lot of them. So what we conspired with some partners that we will announce over the course of the summer, we're going to have a gigantic draft weekend for our grand prize winner. So it's 12-man leagues. This is all based around 12-man leagues. If you have less, we can do that. We cannot do more. So it will be capped at 12 people. Whoever wins this, with your entry and the proceeds, go to the Eblin Charities Project. We will build the ultimate draft experience. So there will be a Friday night mixer. We'll have the gigantic draft on Sunday. We have a lot of very cool elements in that I can't tell you all of right now. Some of them involve a couple current NFL players.
Nice.
There's a lot that goes into this. And it will be like a gigantic NFL draft. You will have custom cards with your names on it that you take up to the commissioner, which is the two of us. And we will be hosting your draft with some – there will be many much libations and many much food and all of the things. So this is a project we're really excited about. This got conspired in my brain as I can't sleep, and I started thinking about it. And the more Tangan and I talked about it, the more we went, yeah, we got to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And it opens up all of the things in Battle of the Belt. This is completely separate. So there are tiers, and we put those up. You can get into this contest for as little as a $5 charitable donation. All right, so if money's a thing, this is not a, hey, we're trying to get all of the dollars. We're trying to raise money for charity and do something cool for people that listen to this show. Now, we don't just have one winner. So we have the grand prize winner that gets the gigantic ultimate draft weekend for them and all of their league mates. There will be 10 secondary winners that get into the show league with this show. So if you win one of those spots, you'll obviously be in a league with us. We will do the draft live. That will be at the Village Porch in North Asheville, 41 North Merriman Avenue. We will do a draft party for that live. We will air it on YouTube. We're hoping to do it on ESPN Radio. We have not gotten all the logistics down of that yet, but we're hopeful that we can do that way. And then you will get an appearance on the show. Everybody in the league will get an appearance on the show. So you get to come in for 20 minutes if you've got a business or whatever it is that you want to talk about. We'll do that too. And we talk about fantasy football. You can call me a big mulleted moron. It's really whatever you want to do. And so this was a way to fill the show league as well and have extra winners in this, because we really feel like there's going to be a lot of interest in this. We crowdsourced this idea to a lot of people.
Yes, and from what I understand about all of it, the ultimate fantasy draft weekend, it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a whole lot of fun. You get to bring your whole crew together for the draft experience, the live draft. We will be the commissioners of it. It's going to be a whole weekend thing. We're talking about red carpet kind of stuff. That it takes it to a whole new level. So if you're a fantasy football nerd like we are, I think all the guys in your league or gals and vice versa will really appreciate being a part of this. And I think the best part of it is that we're not only opening this up to those who give the $25, $50, $100 and buy the packages for the Battle of the Belt,
because that's roped into this.
But it's also, if you just want to get in for $5, it's worth it to get a raffle ticket, basically, to get into this. $5 goes to Eblin Charities to the Tools for Schools program. And it's going to be a whole lot of fun. This is one thing that we got to get the ball rolling on now, though, because
that's why we have to do this so early.
Right, we want to get it all established by mid-July, somewhere in that area.
So all of the entries for this side of the contest have to be in by July 15th. So that is for the Tools for Schools portion. There will be a DraftKings element to the Battle for the Belt. That was, yes, that's what we did last year, but there's going to be an added layer. And all of that will go to the St. Nicholas Project. So basically everything from July 15th on will go there.
Yes.
The other reason we have to do this so early is because we want your input on your draft party. So there are a lot of the tenets of this that we're going to have. There's going to be a very specific kind of beer. We'll let you know about that in the coming weeks. There's a very specific caterer that they may do a lot of wing things that we'll let you know about in the coming weeks.
Right.
But then we really want your input. If you've got guys flying in from out of town or guys or girls, whatever the case may be, we want your input on that. And and Tank and I talked about exactly how we wanted to discuss this. Look, we're fully funded by the sponsors. So Ingalls and Clarissa Hyatt Zach and Rogue Combat Club and Home Trust Bank, that's who pays us. And we love doing things like this. There are times that we have to, we got to get a little creative with how we do things. And that was something he and I talked about was, you know what? I think it's just time you break the fourth wall and just go, we have to do these things a little differently. We've got to get them sponsored, and we've got to have the partners. And one of the things that has been such a – I will say it is really – it's still humbling to me is how much involvement we get from people on stuff like that. I mean, we gave $2,500 to the St. Nicholas Project last year, which to me is awesome. And this year we want to do it bigger and better, and we want to involve everyone. We had a ton of people with Battle for the Belt last year that said, I didn't get the chance to get in. You will not say that this year, I promise. We have completely relaunched the way this goes. So no matter when you come in, if you know times are tight during the summer, trust me, if anybody understands that, it's the two of us because football season. Just throwing that out there. You will be able to get in, and you will be able to be involved, and we appreciate all of you from the bottoms of our hearts for being able to do things like this. Tank will tell you, I've been so excited about this for the last 2 weeks that it's been practically all I've talked about. Once the idea manifested itself, it became all Jeremy wanted to do.
Right. And at this point, it is there are a lot of moving pieces to this, obviously, and every chance that we can get to make the prize pack, a little spicier, we're definitely going to take every opportunity.
No doubt.
To do that.
And we have some really cool sponsors for this contest that we're not ready to announce those yet for a couple different reasons. But that will be coming in the weeks directly after I come back from the wedding and things like that. So it's not that we're hiding them from you. It's just we're putting all the pieces in place. We wanted to get this out there so as many people could be involved as possible because I'm going to be hit or miss for the next month. Now I'm getting married on Saturday. Amy and I are doing the honeymoon in July. So we didn't want this to slip through the cracks. And this felt like the perfect day to put it up there. In the YouTube chat, I'm putting we have buttons that you can just click on. That's through PayPal. If you want to go through other apps, I know Silver asked about Cash App. We have all those things. They're really easy to find. It's the name of the show. Venmo, Cash App, any of those things. I just have to have your full name and your address or email address. I don't need your address. Please, God, don't send me your address. Your email address. Those are the most important parts.
Yes. $5 to get into the contest. One ticket for $5. You can, and again, all of the proceeds from this will be going to Eblin Charities for the Tools for Schools program. Later in the season, it will be going to the St. Nicholas Project as it did last year. $5 for every ticket to get into the Ultimate Fantasy Draft Contest. $25 gets you 5 tickets into the drawing for the Ultimate Fantasy Draft weekend.
And that is your entry to the Battle for the Belt.
That's your entry into the Battle for the Belt. And then we have a $50 tier that's the same. It'll be 10 tickets into the drawing, and then your entry into the Battle for the Belt with your preseason magazine or whatever Jeremy and Armchair are putting together with their key highlights of the year.
The Mullet Man and the Canadan draft kit.
Yeah, there you go. $100, 25 tickets plus the big package. I cannot wait. And we hope everybody gets in on this. Again, the grand prize, the Ultimate Fantasy Draft Weekend, hosted by Jeremy and myself. 10 runner-up prizes will be your entry into the show league for the year. There may also be some really cool prizes attached to the show league as well. Just we've had discussions, so more to come on that. And then and also, if you get into the league, you're going to get your opportunity to come in and join us on the program at some point throughout the season to talk about whatever is on your mind. And then, of course, we'll have the weekly DFS contest that you can be involved in as well.
And this year, let me put it this way. I have asked practically every person in national or regional media that hosts a fantasy contest, here's what I did, and here's where it was good, and here was where it was bad, and I got a lot of ideas. And so we have really relaunched this. I can guarantee you next year, the final for the Battle of the Belt, everybody that's still alive will have a legit shot to win in the final week of the season. We have relaunched all of those things. There's a season-long element because some people said, hey, I'm just not good at DraftKings. We've created a new DFS game that some of you will be involved in with people that are in this big raffle, which is a super cool idea that Tank and I conspired. And that will involve you being on the Sunday show, which will be live every Sunday of the football season from the Village Porch in North Asheville.
That's right. That is your official football home of the Sportsocracy for the upcoming year.
We've got a ton of people in the comments saying, I will hold the belt this year. And we're not ready to announce all the things for Battle of the Belt yet, but I will give you a little teaser. This year, there are two belts.
It's only because Jeremy didn't win one last year, and he wants to increase the odds that he gets one this year.
Jeremy is not eligible for one of them.
Okay.
Jeremy nor Tank nor any of the people affiliated with the show are eligible for one of them.
Well, I don't have any misgivings that I'm going to be getting one
Well,
anyway.
here's the thing. I actually thought about Tank being eligible just because it's kind of like, hey, Jeremy, you could try out to be the lead in the Broadway show of Cats. Well, just because you let me doesn't mean you want me to or that I can.
That's right. If I have a shot to win, it means anybody has a shot to win. So look forward to all the links will be up on our social medias, on the website.
They're
as
actually
well.
going
They're
up
in the
right
chat.
now on Facebook.
They're in the chat right now on the YouTube stream. The Ultimate Fantasy Draft Weekend, the latest wrinkle in the Sportsocracy's Battle for the Belt contest.
I will say, and I'm not going to say who this person was, but I will tell you they work for ESPN National. When I told them of this contest, they asked, how many people work on your show? And when I said 2, they audibly laughed out loud. And I went, that's ambitious. Yep. Yes, it is. We are ambitious fellers.
We will make it work. You are in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is stopped on 40 westbound between NC 215 and US 19, as well as between NC 209 and US 276. Expect slow traffic on 240 westbound between US 70 and Haywood Street. 26 eastbound is backed up between NC 191 and NC 146, as well as 26 westbound between 280 and 191. And expect congestion on 119 northbound between NC 191 and Sand Hill Road. I'm Elena Vegso with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by STEM.
If the weather calls for rain, then the rain calls for mosquitoes. Keep them away with STEM. STEM is powered by active ingredients found in plants to repel mosquitoes safely and effectively when used as directed. STEM, rooted in nature, optimized by science.
In this week's Marketers Report, Raja Manar, Chief Marketing and Communications Officer of MasterCard, talks about measurement.
Measuring Sonic and Sonic branding, the principles of measurement are the same, but the parameters that you measure are different. We measured, and what we find is our investment is paying for itself in oodles.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, trusted influencers, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you know that these days, generating growth is a challenge. By teaming with Bank of America, you'll not just stay ahead of the curve, you'll move it. With access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2023 Bank of America, N.A.
DQ presents The Sound of Summer Calling. Hey, it's me, Summer. I know you're busy with Beach Days Little League games and all the other fun in the sun, but you gotta get to DQ ASAP Pronto right now. The new Summer Blizzard menu is here, and it brought 5 iconic summer flavors, like new peanut butter puppy chow and s'mores. Oh yeah, it's back. Oh, that's my other line. Everyone is pumped about this new DQ Summer Blizzard menu. I gotta go. See ya, DQ. Get it in the app. DQ. Happy tastes good.
At Ingles, we are proud to introduce our all-new curbside service. Just visit shop.ingles-markets.com or download the app to order, and our friendly staff will bring your groceries right to your car and have you ready to go in no time. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
The Sportsocracy.
Gets the rebound, passes it to the man, shoots it, and boom goes the dynamite.
It is ESPN Asheville, and we never finished our discussion on the NBA. So we got to go back and we got to cover we teased it. We never got into it because we started talking about how to change the XFL and could you ever get anybody to watch.
By the way, 89% of our listeners have said yes, they would watch the XFL if the players were attached to NFL teams. I think I have a point. Mr. Johnson, you can call me anytime.
You do have a point. I'm just not sure it's going to make the big difference that you want it to, or that the league would want it to. The Phoenix Suns, they're done. They're out of the playoffs. The Denver Nuggets taking care of business and just absolutely embarrassing them in the last two games of the series. The Phoenix Suns went all in. They went all in to bring in Kevin Durant. They had to get rid of all the role players. And then it was supposed to be a four-man show, basically. You're supposed to have Chris Paul running the point.
He's old.
Devin Booker as the as the sharpshooter.
Dog.
Yeah, Kevin Durant obviously is the do everything guy, except for play defense.
I was about to say that's a really weird way of he scores real good.
And then you had DeAndre Ayton, which he's a big guy, he's a big body, he can do some things. So
he's also softer than the contents of many toddlers' diapers.
Sure. Obviously, he never got along with Monty Williams. It never worked. Remember the fiasco last year of Monty benching DeAndre Ayton in the playoffs, and then there was the offseason back and forth, I guess, or at least the talk of what are we going to do with DeAndre Ayton. They ended up not being able to do anything with him, not being able to trade him. He comes back. And now it's just kind of foregone conclusion, and I agree. DeAndre Ayton cost Monty Williams his job.
I'm not so sure that's true. Matt Ishbia basically had put Monty Williams to that point if he had 1 foot in the grave, 1 foot on a banana peel. Mm-hmm. They just never clicked for whatever reason. Some people don't. Some people just don't like each other. And from everything I've heard and some of what I've read, it just appears that there was always a disconnect there. And this was always the way it was going to go. If they didn't get at the very least, get to the Western Conference Finals, Monty Williams was going to be out of a job. It should tell you something that he was the favorite for the Bucks job 3 weeks before he got fired. That's kind of an indictment on where this was headed.
Mm-hmm. Well, it could, because it was win or go home for Monty. Because you can't do anything else.
Well, no, Phoenix has gone all in,
right,
and you've crapped out. Because I'm looking at this team going, you have two very solid pieces. You have a geriatric point guard that was actually more of a hindrance than a help the vast majority of the last two series.
Yep.
And you've got DeAndre Ayton, who he has a name that sounds really good, but he doesn't do much. Indiana's who signed him to this contract, you matched it because you had to, because you couldn't do anything else. Then you were stuck with him for a year. now you're not stuck with him. I'm just not sure anybody's interested. Even Indiana at this point. Would you trade Miles Turner for DeAndre Ayton? Because I'll go ahead and tell you, I wouldn't think about it. Wouldn't even think about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just looking at that team going, okay, you fired Monty Williams. What next? Because I don't think you're going to like how this looks.
You got to figure out a way to put guys around them. You have no doubt 2 superstars. This is exactly, to me, what the Los Angeles Lakers have been trying to do with LeBron and AD. You're trying to find that mishmash of players, of role players that you can put around these guys to win. The Lakers may have found their secret sauce or whatever you want to call it. I don't think too many of us expected the Lakers to be in the Western Conference Finals.
I can certainly say I didn't.
I know there's not a lot of us who believe that the Lakers are going to win the Western Conference Finals.
No, they're going to get boat raced by my 2023 NBA champion Denver Nuggets.
They may, and they may not. That's why we play the games.
Oh, they're going to. This is going to make me go full $1 million man. I know Brian Hall's in this building somewhere, and I can't wait for him to come to. Well, it's not, and my response will be very similar, very simple.
Phoenix has to figure out a way to build around the 2 stars that they have. I don't know how you're going to do it.
Well, you have no money. You have no draft capital.
Right. Somebody said earlier in the chat they'll be making a trade with Portland for Dame Lillard. With what? They don't have any assets.
Matt Ishbia would have to give up his own company to do that. Here, I'll give you one tech startup for Damian Lillard and Cameron Payne.
Might be worth it. Do whatever you can to win a championship. Hey, we've learned that from the L.A. Rams, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and now the New York Jets.
Well, and the reason that we had to revisit this is just I want you to remember that I said this. Teron Lue is going to be the next coach of the Phoenix Suns. Just trust me when I say that.
Why?
He has a contentious relationship right now with the Clippers. He's looking around going, I don't like this at all. He has a really good relationship with Kevin Durant. And I'm going to be stunned. I started watching the betting market and started just anytime there's something in a future like that where I see a number that was as high as his was at one point, start sending out text messages. And when people tell me, jump on that right now, okay, there's something there.
Right.
There's something there.
I feel like Phoenix, there's a lot of this talk. Whose window's still open, whose window's not open?
Denver's is wide open for many years.
Absolutely. Denver's window to win a championship, wide open. When you talk about these other teams, like, I don't know, the Los Angeles Lakers. Sure, they're still alive in the playoffs, but you don't get it done this year. A lot of talk about the Golden State Warriors. Is the dynasty over? Yeah, probably so.
I also love the hypothetical trades. Well, they could trade Jordan Poole and the ghost of Klay Thompson for Damian Lillard. You do realize that just because you say that doesn't mean a team's going to agree to it, right? Because Portland would have to be actively on psychedelic drugs to even consider that.
The L.A. Clippers, they never had a window. We all thought they had a window, but they can't stay healthy long enough.
Well, you've just got 2 very odd stars. You got Kawhi Leonard that I don't see how you could possibly trust the guy. I really don't.
No.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. You say that I have a lot of hubris when it comes to Denver. I was late to the bandwagon fan because I saw this out of Nikola Jokic several years ago.
Mm-hmm.
When we first started doing this show, I told you that team is going to be evil if they can ever find pieces to put around him.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just watching it I'm watching every other team in the West atrophy. Phoenix is old and expensive. LA is old and expensive. And your 2 stars never, ever seem to play together.
Mm-hmm.
The Lakers, yeah, they have a window here. Brian Hall sent us a message that said Draymond said Lakers in 6. That actually makes me more convinced that I'm right.
The Draymond's on that side.
Lakers in 6. Yeah, hey, Draymond, you know that one player in the NBA that you cannot defend, and you've said that multiple times? That's who they get to deal with now. Take luck.
We'll talk more about that series coming up tomorrow, right? That's the kickoff of the series.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll talk about.
And we got the draft lottery tomorrow. You talk about. You say woo. It's a franchise-altering day. You get Victor Wembanyama, you got a dog. You don't get the number 1 pick. Well, we can take Scoot Henderson. His name is Scoot.
Victor Wembanyama winds up in Detroit again, or Detroit winds up with the first pick again, and no one cares.
You know, I hate to be a conspiracy theorist, but it is what I do so well. I don't see any shot of that happening. I don't see any shot of him ending up in Charlotte. I don't see any shot of him ending up in several places. But there are a few that make quite a bit of sense. But it's random. Is it, though? Is it, though?
You're maddeningly inconsistent with this. They don't do that. But maybe they do.
Well, here's the thing. I said they haven't done it. I didn't say they wouldn't do it.
They won't.
I think you learned your lesson with Tim Duncan. Hey, greatest prospect we've had in 20 years. Where's he going to go play? You know that city in Texas that nobody can ever find? Like that one.
I feel like that worked out pretty well. Don't you?
How many Spurs fans you know? You see a lot of people
now, no one claims them.
Oh, it's kind of
back then, everyone claimed them.
I have those
who became Golden State Warriors fans, they used to be San Antonio fans.
I have family in Texas. I have legitimately never met a Spurs fan in my life. Not one. I guess they hang out with Sasquatch and Nessie and all those other things. And birds that are all these other things that aren't real.
Yeah.
Joe Biden voters. Sorry, I had to.
God.
All right. Short week.
There
all right.
you go.
Wedding week.
There you go.
Make them laugh. Make them laugh.
I felt like it was a disservice to Monty Williams that they fired him in Phoenix. But there again, new owner is going to make waves, and we'll see where it goes from there. I'm more interested in what happens in Philadelphia.
I just think both are – you had a window, and now that window has closed for both.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Mountain thunderstorms coming in from the northwest tonight. Temperatures in the upper 50s in the valley. We'll see scattered thunderstorms around for the Tuesday forecast. Got a little front hanging out in the neighborhood, giving us some clouds here top of the work week. I think we'll push that on through Wednesday, Thursday. Lower humidity. Sunshine returns to Asheville. Temperatures in the low 70s and lows at night in the 50s Wednesday, Thursday. I'm meteorologist Scott Laria-Moore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is stopped on 40 westbound between NC 209 and US 276. Slow traffic on 240 westbound between US 70 and Haywood Street. 26 westbound is backed up between NC 280 and NC 191. Expect delays on 40 westbound between 215 and US 19. Congestion on 112 northbound between NC 191 and Sand Hill Road. And we're seeing heavy traffic on 26 eastbound between NC 191 and NC 280. I'm Elena Begso with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by eBay Motors. You do anything to keep your vehicle happy. Let's make sure it stays running smoothly. With eBay Guaranteed Fit, the right parts are just a click away. When you see the green check, you know that part will fit. Get the right parts at the right prices. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Have your outdoors and running water, too. With Luxury Lou, the tasteful solution to portable bathroom rentals. Family-owned and local, Luxury Lou Rental provides modern bathrooms on the go with running water, AC and heating, flushable toilets, and elegant designs. Luxury Lou's are perfect for weddings, corporate events, remodels, and more. Don't leave your well-dressed guests to use a dirty porta-potty John.
Ew.
Turn to Asheville natives. Luxury Lou. Visit LuxuryLousRental.com.
Spring in the South means the return of Atlanta Braves baseball.
There's a liner out towards center field. It will lay down. Here comes Ronald. Braves win it.
The 2023 Braves load up for another huge season.
The Braves play here on ESPN Asheville.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Tired of getting dinged by monthly fees on your checking account? You need Simple Checking from Home Trust Bank. With Simple Checking, you get all the essential checking services for free, including 100% online access and a free Visa debit card. It's everything you need from a checking account, but no hoops, no surprises, no monthly fees. Stop by today or call 800-627-1632. Simple Checking at Home Trust. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
It's time to discover the convenience and time savings of contact-free pickup with Ingles Curbside. Just visit shop.ingles-markets.com or download the app. And your Ingles personal shopper gets to work with specialized training on how to select the freshest items for a pre-scheduled pickup. They'll even text you with updates. You pull up to a designated space and your personal shopper delivers your items right to your vehicle. Fresh, fast, and affordable. It's all in the bag. Ingles. Low prices. Love the savings.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
It is ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. The Sportsocracy, if you missed the top of the hour, our announcement of the Ultimate Fantasy Draft Weekend Contest. Sorry you missed it. You'll get more details on that in future shows. But
you can also see it on the Facebook page right now, or you can go back and watch it on the YouTube stream.
Absolutely.
It's obviously a reasonably good idea because I've already had 2 people reach out in 20 minutes and say, hey, how do we get involved with that?
Nice.
From a sponsor level, which is it's always helpful. We appreciate you so much.
The Ultimate Fantasy Draft Weekend. We are going to be putting this together with some brand new partners of the Sportsocracy, and it's just a $5 donation to Eblin Charities, and you can get into the drawing for all of the fun in a Ultimate Fantasy Draft Weekend right here in Asheville this upcoming season. Now, it's time to get weird, and you know me, I love world records. So
I think the only reason the Guinness Book of World Records still exists is because of you.
Yes, absolutely. It's still a thing. People trying to set world records, and out in El Dorado, Kansas, set a new world record at the El Dorado McDonald's. So this particular McDonald's franchise has boasted for quite a while that they are the world's fastest drive-through.
Your story is not about McDonald's. We didn't talk about this.
Is your story
My
about
story
McDonald's?
is also about McDonald's.
There's always a connecting link.
We've
Weird
done
how
this
that happened.
entirely too long.
So they have said for a long time, we are the fastest drive-through line, and we want to prove it. So this past weekend, they got the entire town of El Dorado involved in this. Said, we're going to break the world record. The most drive-through customers in 1 hour that has ever been documented was 300. 300 customers in 1 hour. So they set out to break the world record. And they did. They did 356 in the drive-through line in 1 hour. So can we, is this like, can we have like El Dorado McDonald's set up like teaching for all McDonald's? All fast food restaurants? Because to me, that's one of the worst things in the world, is having to sit in a drive-through line.
Order from the app.
Now, there is no information on that if that's how they got in so many customers. They got a bunch of customers to get in on the app or not. I feel like that's almost an unbeatable record. 356 customers in 1 hour in a drive-through. But congratulations to them. They did it. Now they are officially in the Guinness Book of World Records as having the fastest drive-through line at the El Dorado, Kansas McDonald's.
My story's also about McDonald's, and I'm going to start this with saying that it is very unfortunate that this event happened to this person. But I cannot, for the life of me, believe that we are doing this again. Do you remember the case of the scalding coffee?
Yeah, everybody remembers that.
It was memorialized in an episode of Seinfeld where a New Mexico jury awarded Stella Liebeck, who was 81 years old, $2.7 million in punitive damages after she was scalded in 1992 by a hot cup of coffee from a McDonald's that she was holding between her legs while trying to put cream in it in the drive-thru. I never thought that anything would shock me that much again. And yet here we are. McDonald's and a franchise holder are at fault after a hot chicken McNugget from a Happy Meal fell on a little girl's leg and caused second-degree burns.
That's a hot.
This is
a hot
according
nugget.
to no, I'm not done. You go understand why. You go understand why that happened in a minute. A jury in South Florida found the case, which was reminiscent of the hot coffee lawsuit. 4-year-old little girl sitting in the back seat of a car. The mother drives through the drive-thru, gets 2 Happy Meals for her children, hands them to the children in the back seat. Little girl is 4 years old, drops chicken nugget. Chicken nugget gets stuck on her thigh and is also being pressed into her thigh by a seatbelt.
Okay.
It was left there for 2 minutes. Okay, do you not want your food to be hot? I mean, it is chicken, so it will kill you if it's not cooked. I mean, and I'm really not trying to be unsympathetic here, but you left it on the kid's leg for 2 minutes. What am I missing here? How is that their fault? Now all the employees have to go through a training on warning people about what, that your food's hot? That you shouldn't press it against your body for 2 solid minutes?
Well, I mean, a warning would be nice.
It's
I mean, because
box!
when I go through the drive-thru, I'm pretty much expecting to get cold food anyway. So
I get it. I get it.
I mean, how many times have you? Yeah, it's very rare. Do you get into you get through the drive-through line and you get your bag of food, and then what do you immediately do? Because it's human nature. You start smelling the fries. You go, "Ooh, I gotta have one of them." Like, even if you're gonna wait till you get to your destination, are you not generally surprised when you pull them out and they're hot? Because I am. And maybe that's just my bad luck at drive-thrus.
I have an air fryer, so for me, no matter what you hand me, I can make sure that it is crispy and delicious when I ingest it.
Yeah, but tell me again.
I take fast food fries and put them in the air fryer probably 90% of the time I order.
And that's a great thing to do. Do you not have a couple on the way home?
If they're like really hot.
Of course you do.
But here's what I don't understand. So what they found here was that the employees and the franchisee were liable because the
chicken was too hot.
But you had to cook it.
Mm-hmm.
Chicken carries salmonella. Now, the thing that I'm dumbfounded by is that nobody at any point said there's no chicken in a chicken nugget.
I was getting ready to say, first off, I really do, if somebody knows better than me, correct me if I'm wrong. But I don't believe that's raw chicken.
Oh, no, it's beaks and feet and feathers.
But even then, when they deep fry them, is it not already cooked a little bit? Or is that raw chicken paste inside the nugget shell?
Well, first of all, I had 20 of them before this here show, and they were...
I'm not saying they're bad.
Mustard,
I love chicken
sauce,
nuggets.
awesome.
All I'm saying is that not like eating a quote-unquote raw hot dog? Those things are pre-cooked. Like, you could eat them and not get sick. I feel like chicken nuggets are the same thing.
I'm still I still look at every cup of coffee I get through a drive-thru line where it says hot. No kidding. No kidding. Hot coffee. Chicken nugget came out of a fryer. Hot. I feel like that's implied.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe I'm the jerk here.
Eric Miller says, did the kids' hands not work to knock it off? Well,
doesn't say in the story. I pulled it from the AP story.
I read a version of this story last week, and I thought about telling it, and I did not. The story that I read said that the chicken nugget had fallen in between the girl's thigh and the seat belt. And so it had gotten trapped.
Oh, so it was wedged.
Right, it was
Mine
wedged.
did not say it was wedged.
It was wedged, and that's how it was pressed against the thigh to create the second-degree burn.
Understandable.
So it wasn't like
right, so now
the kid just
that,
goes, oh, no, this is hot, I can't get it off. Like the kid starts screaming, mom's trying to drive, she doesn't know why.
Okay.
It's 2 minutes to pull the car over, and then, oh, my gosh, there's this big burn on her leg.
Okay, so that I get all of that.
Yeah.
Maybe a behind closed doors, settlement. They're talking about $10 million.
Of course they are. Because, I mean, that's the society that we live in. You get hurt by a multi-billion-dollar corporation.
Well, I mean,
of course you're going to get your mills.
This is a franchisee, so you're going to get their monies.
I'm sure McDonald's corporate will throw
I'm just not sure I understand what somebody is supposed to do. Yes, your food is hot. Would you prefer it another way? These stories drive me crazy.
Yeah.
The woman that scalded herself with coffee because she was literally trying to put creamer in it while she was driving.
Yeah.
I feel like, and maybe I'm wrong. I was only 5 years old when that happened. I feel like that is when other countries started making fun of us, and then it just kind of rolled downhill.
100%. In this scenario, in that scenario, no. In this scenario, I'm still a no. As far as liability for the company, as liability for the franchisee, it's a no from me. If I'm sitting on that jury, there's no chance.
I mean,
there's no chance I'm giving you any kind of settlement in this because here's the thing. Was the chicken a little hot coming out of the window? Sure, maybe so. But maybe for a 4-year-old parent shouldn't just throw the bag back there blindly and go. I mean, I feel like it's on you as the parent to realize that the porridge is too hot. Is it not?
Well, I mean, and that's, we have somebody in our YouTube comments that says this all the time. Common sense ain't common.
That is very true.
So, it's, and I feel like this is a very appropriate time to say that I am seriously considering a run for president in 2024. Just running on the platform of, what are you, stupid? That's my campaign slogan. What are you, stupid?
Is your poster child going to be Ja Morant?
At Sports Take ESPN. I feel like Take's on fire of just agitating people.
And facts don't care about your feelings.
I feel like that's a perfect shirt.
I
feel like it's a perfect shirt for our merch store. Just my face.
Yep.
And then a little tagline that just says, what are you, stupid?
Yep. I mean, if you're going to act like a moron, don't expect us to call you anything other than.
I will make a bet with you right now. I have to be in public 2 times in the next 24 hours. I will bet you somebody walks up to me and goes, what are you, stupid? Within the next 24 hours. It's one of the many things I love about the people that listen to this show. You see me, and you just throw lines back at me.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is CSPN Asheville.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is stopped on 40 westbound between NC 209 and US 276. Slow traffic on 240 westbound between US 70 and Haywood Street. Expect delays on 26 eastbound between 191 and 280, as well as 26 westbound between 280 and 191. 40 westbound is backed up between US 19 and NC 1200, as well as between 215 and US 19, and expect delays on 19 southbound between 240 and US 19 business route. I'm Elena Vegso with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by eBay Motors. You do anything to keep your vehicle happy. Let's make sure it stays running smoothly. With eBay Guaranteed Fit, the right parts are just a click away. When you see the green check, you know that part will fit. Get the right parts at the right prices. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Join your Asheville Symphony and world-renowned banjo player Bela Fleck on Saturday, May 20th for the Asheville Amadeus Festival finale at 8 p.m. at the Thomas Wolfe Auditorium. You'll hear Fleck's own Imposter Concerto for banjo, music from West Side Story, the iconic Jazzy Caravan, and more. Saturday, May 20th at 8 p.m. at the Thomas Wolfe Auditorium. Tickets at AshevilleSymphony.org at 828-254-7046 or at the Harrah's Cherokee Center Asheville box office.
Dr. Rick here.
Another sign you're becoming your parents is getting particular about details that don't matter.
The craziest thing happened when we got tacos the other day. Was it Wednesday or Thursday we got tacos? I know it wasn't Tuesday because that's when I went to my hairdresser. Shoot, what day was it?
See how we all lost interest there?
Progressive can't help you from becoming your parents, but we can help you compare rates on home insurance with Home Quote Explorer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
Of course I use Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to clean tough messes off my stovetop and bathtub. But then I discovered I can also use it to easily clean my patio furniture and even my shoes. I'm hooked.
And when wipes won't cut it, I use Magic Eraser Sheets. They're thin and flexible erasers, perfect for everyday messes, like gunk on my counters and sinks. They really are magical.
The reviews are in. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Sheets make cleaning look easy.
Only iHeartRadio gives you access to all of your favorite radio stations.
Rover's Morning Glory.
It's The Woody Show.
It's Elliot in the Morning.
All of the once-in-a-lifetime events.
iHeartRadio Music Festival.
All of the best free curated playlists.
It's everything that rocks.
All of the great podcasts for every interest.
This is Freddie Prinze Jr. from the Wrestling with Freddie podcast.
All of the mind-blowing contests.
$20,000.
Awesome.
All of your favorite superstars.
This is Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters.
Best of all, it doesn't cost a thing. Download the absolutely free iHeartRadio app now.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
At Ingles, we are proud to introduce our all-new curbside service. Just visit shop.ingles-markets.com or download the app to order, and our friendly staff will bring your groceries right to your car and have you ready to go in no time. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
This is the Sportsocracy in the Ingles studio on ESPN Asheville. Jeremy is devastated, y'all. I mean, it's wedding week. He's getting ready to, have the greatest day of his life coming up on Saturday when he gets married to the most wonderful woman on the planet, aside from my wife, of course. But he's really upset because one thing that he's not going to get to enjoy this weekend is his hero playing at the PGA Championship. This story came out earlier today, and I thought I was going to have to just put a bucket underneath his chair to catch all of the tears as John Daly has withdrawn from the PGA Championship.
There is a Hooters in this town that will never recover.
It's funny to me.
I mean, they wait for John Daly to show up with the bus. That is our greatest customer, and he is coming to town.
And he'll still be there, I'm pretty sure.
I'm sure.
He'll still show up.
You know what I don't need to do? I don't need to go shoot 80.
No. When was the last time John Daly
he's had
factored into anything?
Factored? Oh,
yeah.
No, that's been a minute.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I get that he's a colorful character. You like seeing him out there. You like seeing the Santa Claus beard and the weird Bermuda shorts and the stogie or the cig hanging out of his mouth and all of that.
John Daly John Daly to me is proof that time travel at some point has been perfected, because I think John Daly is me 20 years from now. You think I don't care right now?
You're headed down that path.
As I age, it is so much less.
Former PGA champion pulls out.
He is a former PGA. There's nothing incorrect about that.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. But he did it 32 years ago.
Who cares? It was awesome. And he is awesome. And I'm very sad he is not going to be present at this event.
The PGA Championship kicks off on Thursday, or I guess tees off on Thursday at the Oak Hill Country Club in Rochester, New York.
If you're playing DraftKings or any of the other DFS things for this, let me give you a solid piece of advice. You better find people that can really annihilate a golf ball, because this course is super long. Super long. It was long before, and they added almost 300 yards to this thing. So that brings in guys like Rory. I'm not saying he's going to win this tournament.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also not saying he's not going to win this tournament.
I don't know. I'm starting to feel about Rory the same way I feel about the Philadelphia 76ers.
Well, every time you trust them, they're going to piddle in your punch bowl.
Pretty much. Yeah. Pretty much.
You're not wrong.
I mean, dare I say that thing that you get so sick of hearing people say? Rory McIlroy gonna Rory McIlroy. Like Jet's gonna Jet.
I will punch you directly in the face.
Also, a development in the baseball world. Look at the Oakland A's. They have reached an agreement for their Las Vegas stadium.
Oh, I thought you were about to say developing a story in baseball. Somebody watched it. Awesome.
Oh, stop that.
That's new.
Stop. You were today years old when you found out people still watched basketball.
No, I knew people watched it. Just I think the rating kind of
surprised you.
Yeah.
Surprised you when you saw that 9 million people were the average viewers for the Golden State Warriors Los Angeles Lakers game the other night.
Yeah, that was shocking to me.
I think the viewers are coming back to baseball in the Oakland, except for in the Oakland market. I feel like all of the Oakland people are just shutting this thing down because Oakland, the A's are moving out of Oakland. They're going to be moving to Las Vegas. None of it's been approved yet, but the deal has already been signed. Bally's Corporation, which didn't they go bankrupt?
I asked you the same question. I know they had a sports network that it didn't go so good.
No, it didn't last very long.
You know how certain companies lose money? Well, they did that every day for about 3 years.
Bally's also, obviously, they are a massive casino company, and they own the Tropicana, which is one of the most historic casinos in Las Vegas. This is where the Rat Pack used to hang out way back in the 1950s. Well, they're going to be tearing down the Tropicana.
Oh.
It makes me sad. I never got to go.
Have a glass of orange juice. You'll be just
it's just not the same. The Tropicana will be torn down. Bally's is going to build a new casino on one part of the property, and then the other part of the property is going to be a 30,000-seat stadium for the Las Vegas A's. Should they change their name?
I don't know where it came from in the first place.
Well, it was the Athletics.
Well, I mean, I got that.
Right, they were in
their mascot's an elephant for some reason, which makes no sense.
Yeah, I don't remember the story behind the elephant thing, but I mean that goes all the way back to when there was no marketing of baseball. When there was no, back in the no gloves days of we were just it's Philadelphia Athletics and we're playing baseball. Come on down. Yeah, like no. But they've kept the Athletics name. I think they'll keep it. I think they will keep the A's moniker, and then their logo just becomes like an ace of spades.
Well, I am. You're upset that they're tearing down this old place that
yes, that I've never been to.
Yeah, that a bunch of entertainers from 80 years ago frequented. I live by a very simple philosophy: new is always better, and I don't tend to get attached to old crap. So I'm just fine with this. Let's blow it up and put in something new and useful in its place.
The Nevada legislature still has to vote on all of the particulars of the deal. Major League Baseball still has to weigh in as well. However, when Rob Manfred says, yeah, we're all behind them going to Las Vegas, you can pretty much bet that thing's getting done. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Mountain thunderstorms coming in from the northwest tonight. Temperatures in the upper 50s in the valley. We'll see scattered thunderstorms around for the Tuesday forecast. Got a little front hanging out in the neighborhood, giving us some clouds here top of the work week. I think we'll push that on through Wednesday, Thursday. Lower humidity. Sunshine returns to Asheville. Temperatures in the low 70s and lows at night in the 50s Wednesday, Thursday. I'm meteorologist Scott Laria-Moore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is stopped on 40 westbound between NC 209 and US 276. Slow traffic on 240 westbound between US 70 and Haywood Street. 26 eastbound is backed up between 191 and 280, as well as 26 westbound between 280 and 191. Slow traffic on 40 westbound between US 19 and NC 1200, and delays on 40 westbound between 215 and US 19. I'm Elena Begso with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Blue Ridge Health. At Blue Ridge Health, everyone deserves access to top-notch, compassionate health care, no matter their insurance or income status. Keep your family healthy with updated immunizations for COVID-19, flu, chickenpox, and shingles. Health care for all people, including you. Learn more at brchs.com.
Spring in the South means the return of Atlanta Braves baseball.
There's a liner out towards center field. It will lay down. Here comes Ronald. Braves win it.
The 2023 Braves load up for another huge season.
The Braves play here on ESPN Asheville.
Finding a great hire can be a challenge. That's why there's Indeed. Their powerful hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 toward your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Quarterback Dylan Raiola, the number one prospect in the 2024 recruiting class, told ESPN he's committed to Georgia. He's the son of former NFL offensive lineman Dominic Raiola. The NBA still gathering more information on a social media post from over the weekend showing Grizzlies star Ja Morant holding a gun. The Grizzlies yesterday suspended him from all team activities. Morant 2 months ago was suspended by the league for 8 games over a similar incident. Some advice for Morant from ESPN NBA analyst Kendrick Perkins.
We talking about 25 games or a year suspension. He better be careful if he's not out the league. Because no organization is going to continue to deal with this. The NBA is not going to continue to deal with this. And you know what they say, 3 strikes you out. And I don't see him change at all.
Big Perk on First Take. Stanley Cup playoffs, the Stars hosting their first Game 7 at home since 2016. A heavy favorite versus the Kraken tonight in the winner-take-all matchup. 8 Eastern, ESPN TV. The Golden Knights await the winner in the Western Conference Final.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. They're close, convenient, and have the parts you need fast, along with excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Green, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy, presented by Ingalls Supermarkets.
This is the Sportsocracy, and we are live in the Ingalls studio on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere you go on the iHeart Radio app. And you can take us with you everywhere. See our beautiful faces on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel once you're through to the YouTube page, and don't forget, join us in the chat. Each and every show. Best comments always get highlighted. Join the House of Reprehensibles. You can super chat, make a donation to the program. We'll definitely put whatever your thoughts are out on the air for that. It's always a fun time in the chat, each and every day. Top of the third hour of the program on a Monday. Yeah, it's time for the daily draft and stock up, stock down from the weekend. Jeremy Green has the number one pick.
And I don't think I'm about to say what you think I'm going to say.
Okay.
I actually have another one that I wanted to take right here, but I don't think I have to.
Okay.
Because I don't think you'll take it this way.
Okay.
My first one is a gigantic stock down to James Harden. In the last 3 games of this series, he had 39 points combined. The last 2 games, he was 7 of 27 from the floor. That's not just bad, it's horror awful. And so now you go into unrestricted free agency because the deal with Philadelphia never got done. There has long been a report that you are interested in a reunion with Houston. I'm not sure what you can give this guy. He'll be 34 years old before he plays another game. And yeah, you had that 142-point night in, what was that, game 4? I think it was game 4. You had one in game 1 Other than that, you were as pedestrian as they come.
Mm-hmm.
And it really just reaffirms something we've thought about him for many, many, many years. He will shrink in the biggest games of his career time after time after time after time.
You give Joel any blame?
No, because I don't really know what he was supposed to do. He did his part. I don't think anybody can look at this and say he didn't. Do you?
No. I mean, he's never gotten it done. And like I said in the first hour of the program, I don't think you can put this on at his feet. I was just curious what you thought.
I do not put this at his feet at all.
Because he wasn't good in Game 7 either.
Well, I mean, nobody was good. Nobody for Philadelphia was good. They got annihilated. I mean, they lost by, 24? And frankly, it could have been 44.
Mm-hmm.
Boston just kind of tapped. Yeah, Joel Embiid was minus 28 while he was on the floor. He also had absolutely no help. So, I mean, if somebody wanted to throw a little shade at him, I guess I get it. But that was not my takeaway walking away. My takeaway was if I'm a franchise that has to deal with you've had weight fluctuations with James Harden, you've had inconsistent effort, tends to shrink in big games, and now in your do or die game before you hit free agency, you go 3 of 11. You got to the free throw line twice. And you just really didn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see how he's not the big loser of the weekend.
It's a fair position for number one.
I
can't say he's the number one loser of the weekend.
I think I know who you're going to say.
Of course I'm going to say it, because he's the number one overall loser of the last 2 months of the NBA season. It's John Morant. You can't ignore what's happening with this young man. This is where the league's at. We cannot ignore this anymore. Has he done anything to hurt anybody? No. Not yet.
Well, I mean,
that's where I would be if I was running the league.
And my argument would be you're taking quite a leap to say that he's going to.
Maybe.
The thing that would bother me is his complete disregard for the rules of the league and how things are going to look, and the fact that you just did this.
Mm-hmm.
And here's why I didn't take him number one. He's 23 years old.
Mm-hmm.
He's 23 years old. If we have shown anything as a sports society, elite talent is going to get a lot of chances.
Absolutely. And he's going to have his.
Let's say, I guess here would be my argument.
Okay.
By comparison.
Mm-hmm.
Did this cost him $1?
Yes. It already cost him $1. It already cost him $39 million, the fact that he missed 8 games from the suspension 2 months ago because he didn't qualify for the All-NBA team, which he would have made, which would have knocked in that $39 million on the Supermax contract or whatever. So he's already cost himself $39 million there. Now he's going to miss maybe a year.
And he'll recoup that quickly.
Sure he will. I'm not saying he won't. But this is not good. It's not good for a 23-year-old guy to be put into this situation because who knows what happens. Say he does get suspended for a year. You think, we would like to think that he would mind his P's and Q's and he would just, fulfill his suspension, come back better than ever, re-energized and ready to be the face of the franchise that everybody wants him to be. But I could also see an equally likely path that he has now more time on his hands to do more stupid stuff and spirals. Somebody made the comparison in the chat earlier, and I'm not making this comparison. I'm just saying this is what people are already thinking, that John Morant is the Antonio Brown of the of the NBA. I think that's a bit of a leap to take, at least at this point, because, again, he hasn't hurt anybody. like allegedly Antonio Brown has done. I don't think any of that ever came adjudicated, so we have to say
Correct.
allegedly. But could I see that path? Absolutely. Because you're already showing a disregard for the rules and the expectations. So could it get worse? Absolutely.
And I just keep coming back to, all right, let's say the year suspension happens. He'll still be 25 years old. Next game he plays, he would be 25 years old. And he's an elite talent. And whether it's Memphis or somebody else, it's not going to change much. It's not. I mean, this kid finished top 10 in the league in scoring, top 10 in assists. You're a prodigious talent. And we have shown over many, many years that you're going to get a lot of opportunity.
Yeah. His career's by no means over.
And for me, this kid just needs to grow up. You just grow up, stop doing immature things, and you're going to be just fine. I also would be – I know we're throwing around this year suspension thing. If that happens, I will be absolutely dumbfounded.
I will as well. I would expect somewhere in the neighborhood of
25
to 30 games.
25
something
if
like
it's
that.
Any other number, I'll be shocked.
But there again, will Adam Silver want to make the example?
Adam Silver will do probably whatever the dumbest thing humanly possible is. So,
and would banning John Morant be the dumbest thing possible?
You know what? I'm glad I don't have to make that decision because I really don't know.
I don't know that it would. I don't think it would be the dumbest thing possible.
That's one of those. I'm really glad I get to sit here and talk into a microphone because that's above my pay grade, and I am really thankful for that.
Maybe you should. Maybe you should have to serve that. And my stock up for the weekend, or number one stock up for the weekend, it's Jason Tatum.
He got that dog in.
Dude went absolutely nanners in Game 7. 51 points, breaking Steph Curry's Game 7 record just a few weeks after he said it in the last playoff series.
Yeah, that lasted, 13 days or
something like that. Jason Tatum is that dude. Jason Tatum, in my opinion, can be the best player on a championship team.
He may be the best player on a championship team this year.
I believe he will be.
I don't, but it's more. The Celtics scored 112 points. Do you know how many of those came from anybody not named Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown? Combined?
26.
36.
36. Okay.
You said 6, and it caught me off guard. It's like, he got one of them right. 36 points from every other player on the team, and they spent a solid 6 minutes where neither of them were on the floor.
That they did. I fully expect the Boston Celtics will take care of business against Miami in the Eastern Conference Finals, and it's going to be, who do you get? Do you get the Denver Nuggets? More than likely. Do you get the LA Lakers? If you do, I still like your chances in that one.
I think the Celtics and the Nuggets would be an epic finals.
I do as well.
I think they would annihilate the Lakers. The Heat are one player short. Jimmy Butler can deal with either Tatum or Brown, whichever one. They've done both, so whichever one they decide to do in this series. But then you got to deal with the other one, and you really don't have anybody to deal with the other one. So, and then you got Adebayo with Robert Williams, which is a little clunky. It's two guys that don't like being more than 6 feet away from the basket. Miami has shocked me being here, so I can't definitively tell you what's going to happen. As long as Jimmy Butler's putting on a uniform, I'm not going to say you can't do anything. I am officially done undervaluing the Miami Heat.
Do enough people have Jason Tatum in their top 3 to 5 players in the NBA? Do you think? Do you think he's underrated?
I'm to the point of if you don't, I don't really have anything for you.
That's where I'm at.
I don't. If you're not getting at this point how good this kid is, I'm tired of arguing it because to me there's no basis to it. Well, but he hasn't won anything. No, but he's gotten to a finals with him and one other dude. And then a bunch of flawed toys, and he's getting ready to do it a second year in a row, I think.
Yep. He will probably get to the NBA Finals again, and I think this Game 7 performance was just another step in his christening, I guess, as one of the greatest players in the league.
I would agree. Also makes me feel really good that the year he came out, I said he was the number one player in the class, and it wasn't even close. Well, I was right. The one that I wanted to take number one, I didn't have to because you didn't take him.
Mm-hmm.
My biggest stock up of the weekend, the city of Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay.
You have UFC Fight Night there.
Mm-hmm.
Highest attended fight night in UFC history. And led Dana White to say, I am bringing a pay-per-view here.
Nice.
That is a big deal. I mean, look, Charlotte showed out. I know Adam Black was there.
Mm-hmm.
I know several of the people that we know were at that event, and it looked like a tremendously good time. And I always love when crowds close to here show like that, because I would love to have more things like that here. UFC pay-per-view comes here, I got news for you. I'm present and accounted for.
To Charlotte. It's never coming here.
No. Close to here.
Okay.
We don't have a venue here that could withstand that. Just the people. You got, well, I don't even know how many were at Fight Night, but it was a lot. We don't have a venue anywhere close to here that can withstand that many people. So I'm all the way in for that. I think Charlotte showed very nicely, and you really put yourself on the map. And that sounds weird to say with a top 25 market anyway, but Charlotte was always on that secondary tier of, do they show out for ancillary things like this? And when you look at what they've done with the soccer team, when you look at what they did with Fight Night, I think you're going to see a lot more high-end events coming to Charlotte. And I was proud of the state.
Let's hope so. Hopefully the next high-end event that will be coming to the city of Charlotte will be Victor Wembanyama. But it's not going to happen.
If it does, I'll be the happiest person on the planet. Hey, him and
you and me both,
him
brother.
and LaMelo Ball, that'd be fun. We can do that for a bunch of years.
Yep. That's the only way you're going to keep Ja around. Or, I mean, LaMelo around. Don't know where Ja's going to be.
Well, you say that's the only way you're going to keep him around. You still offer way more money than anybody else does. Still waiting on the first guy that looks at that deal and goes, no, I'll pass.
Question, is Steve Clifford still going to be the coach?
Don't care.
Then I will give up my $30 million or whatever extra that is.
It's way more than that.
I don't know. All right, let's go stock up. Oh,
it's not
you got
your
another
pick.
one. You got another one.
It's not your pick, and it's time for a commercial. So, it's almost like I do these things on purpose.
Yeah, stock up, stock down from the weekend. Today's daily draft will continue right after this on ESPN Asheville.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is stopped on 26 westbound between US 25 and 146. Traffic is also stopped on 40 westbound between NC 209 and 276. We're seeing slow traffic on 240 eastbound between US 19 Business Route and US 19. 26 eastbound is backed up between 191 and 280. 40 westbound is seeing some congestion between 215 and US 19, and heavy traffic on 40 westbound between US 19 and NC 1200. I'm Elena Vegso with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples Print and Marketing Services help small business print big. Now get $15 off signs, banners, and posters when you spend $75 or more. Offer ends July 1st. Visit staples.com/printbig for details. This is your sign to try Staples, where your prints are perfect, guaranteed.
I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I've told you about how your nose is the body's air filter, that Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like Tara, quote, "My doctor wanted me to do saline rinses for my allergies, but I've never been able to successfully use a neti pot. Navage uses suction power, so it's foolproof. There are nights when I'll have particularly bothersome allergies. I'll bust it out, and the results are immediate. It's such a relief. It's become a lifesaver." Unquote. She's one of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, Navage, clean nose, healthy life.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Our communities are filled with wonderful people who make living here great. At Home Trust Bank, we're proud of that. And that's why we focus on helping homeowners prepare for what's next. Our local mortgage bankers have the experience you need and exceptional personal service you'll appreciate. Home Trust Bank is ready to help make a house your home. When it's time to buy, visit your local Home Trust branch or go to htb.com/mortgage.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
The Sportsocracy.
That is some good, clean family fun there, eh, Todd?
Back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville 92.9 FM and heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Stock up, stock down in the sports world from the weekend. Jeremy had first pick. Stock down for James Harden. Absolutely disappearing in the Eastern Conference semifinals for the Philadelphia 76ers.
Oh, yeah. Two big old grumpers right in a row.
My first pick, Ja Morant, stock down for the weekend with his just ridiculousness that continues. Jason Tatum was my stock up for the weekend after his 51-point performance in Game 7 of Boston's victory over the Philadelphia 76ers yesterday. And Jeremy's first stock up of the weekend, the city of Charlotte, after hosting UFC Fight Night this past weekend.
So I get 3 of my top 4 because my next stock up is one, Mr. Jason Day. If you didn't see how the Byron Nelson ended yesterday, it was special. Shot a 9 under 62 on Mother's Day, just a little bit over a year after his mother passed away, for his first PGA Tour victory in over 5 years. This guy went through a lot. A lot of people forget he was the number 1 golfer in the world. Then he went through some injury things. His mom got sick. And now I think he's top 15, top 20 in the world now. And he's a force again. It was just, he didn't even put the Mother's Day thing together until halfway through the round. Mm-hmm. He was super emotional afterwards. It was just, it was a sight. And for somebody like me that, I don't do feelies well. Even I went, that was pretty cool.
Nice. Good for you. Stock up for the weekend. This is not really breaking sports news or anything, but over the weekend I did get a chance to sit down and watch Air. If you have not seen it, it is an absolute must. Fantastic movie about, of course, Sonny Vaccaro trying to woo Michael Jordan to come to Nike, the thing that changed the sneaker business as a whole. Ben Affleck is in the movie. Matt Damon plays Sonny Vaccaro. Ben Affleck plays Phil Knight, the owner of Nike. I thought it was well acted. Thought the story was great. Viola Davis playing Dolores Jordan was fantastic. Great performances all around. The story was really cool. And it was really good. I encourage everybody to see it. If you haven't, it is now available for streaming on Peacock. So that was a stock up for the weekend. Stock down for the weekend. It's Stetson Bennett. Did you see this story over the weekend? Stetson Bennett completed 6 years at the University of Georgia, did not graduate. Lots of people go to school for 7 years.
Yeah, they're called doctors.
Stetson Bennett did not finish his degree at Georgia, despite the fact that he was there for 6 years. Now, he wasn't there for the full 6 years. Obviously, he came in, and then he transferred to JUCO, and then he comes back. Kid won 2 national championships. Best response to the story over the weekend, though?
I bet I have one better.
Came from Cardell Jones. Cardell Jones, who famously said, "We didn't come here to play school. We came here to play football."
He's not wrong, by the way.
And when he retweeted the story of Stetson Bennett, he said, clearly, the kid was not playing school. So good for him for making a little funny on that. But Stetson, buddy, you get 6 years? 6 years you couldn't finish a degree? Just enough to say, hey, I did it.
Now, here's the question. Which was higher, his GPA or his blood alcohol level? My next stock up for the weekend, former Atlanta Falcon, former Indianapolis Colt, Matt Ryan. He's got a new job. He's going to CBS as an analyst. And you and I talked about this before the show. I think it'll be fantastic.
I don't know about that.
Well, you just look at the fact that he has the personality of a wet dish rag. And you're telling me he can't be the Wish version of Tony Romo? Because he's really bright.
I'm sure
he's
he
very
can.
well spoken.
I'm sure he can.
I mean, be honest with yourself. Tony Romo's not exactly the bastion of personality. He's kind of a weird dude.
Mm-hmm.
Getting weirder by the day.
But he's good. He can tell the story. I didn't think it was going to work with Tony either. So if that tells you anything, I didn't think it was going to work with him. But he had way more personality than I thought. And he was, that whole telegraphing all the plays and all of that, which he hasn't done quite as much of in the last couple of years.
No, he's too busy saying weird things.
But Matt Ryan, I just looked at it and I went, Matt Ryan? Like, you realize we tried this with Drew Brees, who I think has infinitely more personality than Matt Ryan, and that didn't go well. How well do you think Matt Ryan's going to work?
Yeah, but that's because Drew Brees was like a weird combination of Kawhi Leonard, and he would get on camera and he would just do that weird smile thing. Like, is that right? Did I do it good?
Do you expect more from Matt Ryan?
And I have spray on hair. Man had a hairline that was receding to the middle of his skull. Then all of a sudden he shows up on television and he goes, "I got new hair. Isn't this cool?" My second stock down is Matt Ryan.
Okay.
Because in the post where they announced that he was going to CBS as an analyst, he felt the urge to say, "This is not a retirement announcement."
Mm-hmm.
Matt, buddy, Bubba, yeah, it is. Okay?
You know why he did that.
Because if somebody gets hurt, he could, which, by the way, we say this about every quarterback. I can count on one hand the number of quarterbacks that have gotten hurt in the preseason in the last 10 years. That ain't happening.
I don't think it's that. I don't think it has. I don't think he has any real want to come back and play football. The reason he said that this is not a retirement announcement is because it would mess with his money. So he got cut by Indianapolis.
Mm-hmm.
That saved them $17 million.
But he can say whatever he wants to until he files his paperwork. None of it matters.
Right.
He can scream it from the top of the Statue of Liberty.
Sure.
As long as he doesn't file his paperwork, nobody cares.
Maybe. If he publicly announces that this is
there's
the
no
retirement
maybe.
thing.
There is no maybe.
There
are guys that have not been in this league in 10 years that have never filed their retirement paperwork. Now, why you would do that, I have no idea.
But are they still owed $12 million?
No.
Like Matt Ryan is. See,
he can say whatever he wants to.
That's why I think he said this is not a retirement announcement, because if he did announce his retirement and file some paperwork, then he's not getting that $12 million.
And nobody with an IQ above salad dressing would do that. This is a kid with a degree from Boston College. I think he's smarter than that.
Absolutely.
But yes, him saying it means nothing. Till you sign off on the paperwork, you still have that. That's when your retirement clock officially starts, by the way, to when you can go into the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
It's the reason that people don't do that. I think he absolutely believes he can still play in this league, and that is a level of delusion that I cannot really wrap my brain around.
I think this past year proved that no, you can't. You can't still play in this league. But there again, would he be the best solution down in Tampa? Yeah, he would. Yeah, he would.
No, you got 17 games of Baker Mayfield in front of you. Can't wait to see you in that number 6 jersey.
All right, last stock down for the weekend for me. It's the New York Jets. New York Jets and Quinnen Williams.
We're going to talk about this in the next segment.
Quinnen Williams is done being a Jet. He hates New York, and he'll never be back. Scrubbed him from his Twitter page. It's got to be done, right? I'm so tired of this. I'm so tired of the I quit on Facebook. It's so stupid to me.
And there's one specific person that I'm thinking about here, but this is like the person that we're all friends with on Facebook that posts the cryptic message like, "Oh, you're going to get what you deserve. ... Wait for comments so I can explain it because I need people to tell me that they love me without telling me that."
We'll talk more about it coming up in just a little bit. Will the Jets fumble or butt fumble when it comes to Quinnen Williams and his contract? It's up next in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Mountain thunderstorms coming in from the northwest tonight. Temperatures in the upper 50s in the valley. We'll see scattered thunderstorms around for the Tuesday forecast. Got a little front hanging out in the neighborhood, giving us some clouds here top of the work week. I think we'll push that on through Wednesday, Thursday. Lower humidity. Sunshine returns to Asheville. Temperatures in the low 70s and lows at night in the 50s Wednesday, Thursday. I'm meteorologist Scott Laria-Moore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is stopped on 40 westbound between NC 209 and US 276. More south and go on 26 westbound between US 25 and NC 146. Slow traffic on 240 eastbound between US 19 business route and US 19. 40 westbound is backed up between NC 215 and US 19. We're seeing some congestion on US 19 heading southbound between NC 251 and US 19 business route, and heavy traffic on 240 westbound between US 70 and Haywood Street. I'm Elena Vegso with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Maytag.
Maytag month has got it going on. It's all you want with the savings all month long.
Upgrade to the performance you need on all Maytag major appliances during May is Maytag month.
Maytag month is going on.
Hear new music first on your free iHeartRadio app.
Hey y'all, this is Måneskin.
Hey, what's up? This is Fall Out Boy.
What's up? This is Mark Hoppus from Blink-182.
It's iHeartRadio.
The free iHeartRadio app is where the biggest stars in the world connect with you. Download it today.
Have your outdoors and running water too with Luxury Lou, the tasteful solution to portable bathroom rentals. Family owned and local, Luxury Lou Rental provides modern bathrooms on the go with running water, AC and heating, flushable toilets, and elegant designs. Luxury Lou's are perfect for weddings, corporate events, remodels, and more. Don't leave your well-dressed guests to use a dirty porta-potty John.
Ew.
Turn to Asheville natives. Luxury Lou. Visit LuxuryLousRental.com.
Spring in the South means the return of Atlanta Braves baseball.
There's a liner out towards center field. It will lay down. Here comes Ronald. Braves win it.
The 2023 Braves load up for another huge season.
The Braves play here on ESPN Asheville.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at RogueCombatClub.com.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
At Ingles Weather, we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park. It's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Welcome back into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. Time for the most important message of the day.
Don't do crimes!
Yep, and who's shocked that crimes were done in Florida?
Seems to be a common place for crimes.
Yeah, Florida man doing it once again as man is now facing charges after he pointed a gun at his wife because he didn't get invited to go to dinner. Now, what makes this story so special is because, I mean, they were all getting together to go to the one place that, I mean, you would kill to eat a meal at, right?
Olive Garden.
That's exactly right.
We didn't say that beforehand.
It was Olive Garden.
I love Olive Garden.
Yeah, so here's more to the story. It wasn't just that the guy got angry that he wasn't invited to dinner at the Olive Garden. The wife was upset as to his actions the entire night because this man is, well, he's a high school teacher. He's
where this is headed.
He's a high school teacher in Pensacola, Florida. And he apparently decided that it was a good idea to go to his daughter's track meet a little tipsy.
Never a good idea.
So the teacher goes to the school function, get it, to support his daughter who's on the track meet or on the track team, but he is wasted. He apparently goes, causes a bit of a scene, and when the wife says, okay, that's it. You need to go home. You're not going to dinner with us. That apparently was a bridge too far for this man.
I need soup, salad, breadsticks.
That's right. So they went to the Olive Garden without him.
Oh, no, I love where this is
going. Yeah.
I totally know where this is going.
And then
at least I think I do.
He didn't immediately react. Like he wasn't standing there with the gun. When
there's a gun
home.
involved.
Oh, yeah. I pointed the gun at his wife because he didn't get invited for dinner. That was the first line of the story.
I wasn't paying attention.
Clearly. So it's not as if he was waiting at the door with the gun because he was so mad. He waited until the perfect moment. Until she was sleeping. In fact, all the family was sleeping in a separate room because he was being such a jackwagon. So apparently,
this is totally not where I thought this was going.
Apparently, mom and kids were sleeping in the living room that night to give daddy his space to come down off of his drunk. Well, he woke them up in the middle of the night, pointing the gun at her, threatening her because, well, he was upset that she didn't let him go to the Olive Garden. There is an investigation going on by the Escambia County school system to determine whether or not he was, in fact, intoxicated at said school event. He will more than likely be losing his job.
No doubt.
And, of course, now he is facing aggravated assault charges for this incident.
See, I thought that was going to – he went full Reese Bobby at Chili's and showed his arse.
But that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to go get kicked out of an Olive Garden, and she wouldn't let him.
First of all, who hasn't gotten kicked out of an Olive Garden? I mean, okay, have you really even lived if you've never been kicked out of an Olive Garden?
For what? What do you have to do to get kicked out of an Olive Garden?
Well, okay, just use your imagination. And it's not one of my prouder moments, but it happened. So
Whoa. For real?
Yeah.
Like, no lies, you have been kicked out of an Olive Garden.
Correct. It's not the one in this city either. Just why I like the one in this city, because they get my sense of humor. If there's anything in this life that drives me crazy, it's YouTubers doing things for views. We're YouTubers, and we just do our job. And some of you lovely, wonderful listeners like to interact with us on the YouTube. Trevor Daniel Jacob is also a YouTuber. And apparently he was not getting the number of clicks that he wanted, and he came up with a genius plan.
Brilliant.
Because somehow this moron got a pilot's license to fly an airplane. So he came up with this brilliant idea. He was going to put cameras on his plane. He was going to have a selfie stick with his phone, and he was going to crash his plane for views. So here's what
I feel
he
like
did.
you've done this story before.
I have, but there's another story at the back end of it. So if you don't remember when I told this story in the past, this genius comes up with a plan, parachutes out of his plane, and then he's perfectly situated to film the plane crashing with his selfie stick while he's parachuting out of the plane. Now, he posted this video under the title, "I Crashed My Airplane," saying that this was a harrowing escape and got many, many views of people clicking on it. Well, that was the part of the story that I told you previously. What I didn't tell you is that there have been a slew of developments since. First of all, he wouldn't tell the FAA where the accident happened. So they used his cell phone video to figure out the exact location of where the plane went down.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they go to find the plane, no plane.
That's weird.
No plane. Because he and one of his rocket surgeon friends flew into this location, picked up the wreckage of the plane, put it on his plane, and flew it away. Because, see, if they had seen the wreckage, they would have seen that he had mounted cameras on the outside, and it would have made it abundantly clear that he did this on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
He has now pleaded guilty to 1 count of destruction and concealment with the intent to obstruct a federal investigation, which carries up to 10 years in federal prison. He has had his pilot's license revoked, and hopefully he's lost a slew of followers because, well, he's just not very bright, okay? I ask this question often of things that I see on the interwebs that you're expecting me to believe are not scripted in any way, and I will give you an example. Netflix gave me this I think it's called Lost or Found or something like that. It's a new true crime documentary from the Richland County Sheriff's Department in Columbia, South Carolina, and it's about these cases and people that are mysteriously they disappear, and maybe they're to the best of my knowledge they were all found. There's like 47 cinematic angles in everything they do. They're interviewing the victims. Like they're interviewing the people they think did it. Just doing like talking head interviews. That's not how this works. Just throwing it out there. And you expect me to believe that this is a documentary. No, this is, I'm not going to say made up, but you're putting on a whale of a production here.
What are you saying, you can't have cinematic angles in a documentary?
I'm saying, okay, so the first story in this, and these are not spoilers, you learned this from the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
A woman disappears, mother. Her son has PTSD and several other issues. They're convinced he has killed the mother. They're interviewing him throughout the entire process. Like they're sitting in his house and he's going just completely nanners, and you're expecting me to believe that a film crew went in to interview a suspect. Why am I not buying any of this? All of this seems...
But if it's a closed case...
It wasn't closed. This was as it was going on. They still haven't found the mother at this point. And you're sitting in his house interviewing him. Why do I struggle to believe that there's not some embellishment here? And you're trying to tell me how crazy he is, but there's only 2 people in this room.
Mm-hmm.
So you're obviously not that worried. You went in there by yourself. Watch a lot of true crime.
Or did I? Or did I? Or did I have 14 people behind me?
If you had 14 people, you all need to be better at your job because the cinematic angles there were not great.
I've never seen it, so I can't say anything. I'm just Just trying to find out where you're going.
I really hate things that are just tell me the truth. Okay? Just tell me what the business is. I'm going to watch it anyway. I mean, it's a true story, and you're doing all these things, and some of these are reenactments. I'm reasonably sure they used an actor at one point for a person that's a real person.
Mm-hmm.
Just tell me that. It's fine. It's a reenactment. Okay. Still going to watch it.
They do that a lot in documentaries.
100% they do. But don't tell me that it's the real guy, because they don't look alike.
Ah.
At least not enough for me to not know that.
Did they
that's
just
not the same person.
did they say that was the real guy, or did
Yes.
they just not say this is not the real guy?
Well, okay. I mean, I guess in theory that could have been a reenactment, but you should at least tell me that's what it is.
Okay.
Because then I spent 30 minutes going, what's wrong with his face? Like, his face changed over the course of one day.
It's weird how they got all these cinematic angles on this crime that was
This guy
committed
that
that there's no evidence to.
This guy that they're completely sure has actually killed someone, and yet here we are just doing a dog and headpiece on him. Like, just won a prize at the dog fair.
The New York Jets. They've had the hell of an offseason. I mean, the draft didn't really go the way Jeremy wanted it to.
Nah, I'm getting better with it by the day.
But the signing of Aaron Rodgers obviously was the big star acquisition of the offseason. But will they find a way to screw it up? Will the Jets find a way to jet even in this offseason?
No.
And now it comes with Quinnen Williams going on to Twitter and changing his Twitter bio. And now it says that he is a defensive tackle for ... He wants his money. All right, he's on the 5th year option, $9 million and some change that he's going to make this year. He wants to be making somewhere in the neighborhood of what, $20 million a year, 15 to 20, something like that.
Yeah, that's probably the floor. Well, look, he's looking around, seeing Dexter Lawrence and Deron Payne and Jeffrey Simmons. All these guys have gotten their money.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, whichever one of them gets paid last, A, you're probably going to pay more because the other guys have set the market. He's younger than all of them. And I'm not going to lie to you, he's better than all of them. This is going to get resolved. I would say it's probably 4 years, $100 million, and 60 of it's guaranteed up front.
Mm-hmm.
Done. They're reworking Aaron Rodgers' deal right now because they had to do all of the things to get him under the cap. It's going to be fine. All right? Just maybe leave your Twitter bio alone so we don't have to talk about these things.
It just continues to be one of the biggest pet peeves that I have in today's sports society.
It irks me a lot.
Is where all of these players I'll scrub you from my Instagram and that'll get action.
Well, it's just it's a shot across the bow, and this is how some guys are choosing to do that now. I'm going to take my shot, and this will really spur you along.
When has it not worked yet? That's the
You're
question.
not wrong.
When has it not worked yet? I think Kyler Murray started this.
He didn't start it, but he was definitely one of the most high profile.
Right.
This has been going on for way before Kyler Murray. But it's going to get done. He's one of the most integral parts of this team. He's one of the best young players on this team.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to get it done. Just let the Aaron thing, because that's an odd layer of this. They had to completely renegotiate Aaron's deal. So now his cap hit in 2023 is like $1.5 million. It's $107 million next year. We got to get some of that. We got to get some of that back because we're not paying you $107 million next year. So they're working on that.
We're going to push it down the road. We're going to kick the can down the road, so to speak, and Aaron Rodgers is going to be a New York Jet for a while. That's how I see this playing out.
People in that organization think it's 3 years. I'll be happy with 2.
I would say basement. I would say the basement is 3 years.
But you also got to understand, I've already read this book. I've seen how this went with another former Green Bay Packer, And that lasted a whole 11 games before his arm fell off his body.
I still feel like that's a little different scenario. But,
well, I mean, I don't think anybody looks at Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre and goes, yeah, they take care of themselves in the same way. Brett Favre is I like to wear my Wranglers and sue people for telling the truth. Aaron Rodgers is more, my body is a temple, and I must find my center. Do this with hallucinogenic drugs.
Exactly. Tom Brady did it till he was 45. There's no reason to think that Aaron Rodgers can't do it until close to then, at least.
I don't.
43.
I disagree. Tom was more avocado ice cream, and nobody's doing that. Nobody's done it before, and I would not be shocked if nobody does it again. If you get 3 years, absolutely, that's a win.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be happy with 2.
39 years old now. If he goes to 42, 43, I won't be shocked at all.
And usually I'm the guy that when you're in one of these windows like this, just be cool. We'll get it done.
Mm-hmm.
But with Quinnen, I get it because I think he's the second best interior defensive lineman in the NFL. And you start seeing all these guys that haven't had a season like he had last year that are getting their money.
Mm-hmm.
I understand why you want to make sure this gets done.
He wants the contract extension. He was they sifted through his Twitter and saw that he had retweeted the news about Dexter Lawrence getting his $60 million guaranteed. His contract was like $85 over 4 years, so Quinnen probably wants more than that.
And Dexter Lawrence was $90 over 4.
There you go.
22.5 a year. And I'm pretty confident that's your floor. Jeffrey Simmons was 94 over 4, so I would say Quinnen probably comes in somewhere between 95 and 100. And I will be dumbfounded if it doesn't get done within the next. It's May 15th. If by July 4th we haven't seen a resolution to this, I will be dumbfounded.
No chance this becomes a stalemate where he has to get traded or anything like that.
No. Teams that have gone all in do not make a habit of alienating the best player on the roster. So this is one of those that I would say things were probably not progressing in the way that he wanted to. So he did that passive-aggressive thing that many millennials do, and that's not me taking a shot at Quinnen. I love him to death. But that's what this generation does, is I'm going to scrub you off Instagram and scrub you off Twitter, and now you know I'm mad because it's a lot easier than just, having a conversation with somebody because I don't actually have to talk to you this way. I'm just mad.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. We'll be right back.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is stopped on 26 eastbound between I-40 and mile marker 35. Heavy traffic on 26 westbound between NC 280 and 146. I-40 westbound is at a standstill between 209 and 276. Heavy traffic on 25 southbound between I-40 and Overlook Road. More stop and go on 25 alternate heading southbound between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. And slow traffic on 240 eastbound between US 19 and US 70. I'm Elena Vegso with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Maytag.
Maytag month has got it going on. It's all you want with the savings all month long.
Upgrade to the performance you need on all Maytag major appliances during May is Maytag month.
Maytag month is going on.
In a new series from the teams at Novel and iHeartRadio, this is the Fighty Pucks. We're going out on the ice with the most violent hockey team ever.
That was guerrilla warfare at its highest.
Were they heroes or villains? You decide.
You and I are going to have a problem. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Welcome to the jungle.
Listen to the Fighty Pucks on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Meet Joe A,
Hi.
Joe B,
Hello.
and Joe C.
What's up?
3 everyday Joes perfecting their banking with Chase. Joe A is locking his lost debit card with the Chase mobile app. Joe B is cruising toward his new ride with AutoSave. And Joe C's Chase banker is helping him budget to go back to school. Tools that help protect. Support for what's next. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase. Make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Messaging and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
In a new series from the teams at Novel and iHeartRadio, this is the Fighty Pucks. We're going out on the ice with the most violent hockey team ever.
That was guerrilla warfare at its highest.
Were they heroes or villains? You decide.
You and I are going to have a problem. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Welcome to the jungle.
Listen to the Fighty Pucks on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Saturday, June 3rd, Just Running presents the Flying Squirrel 10-miler. It's a 10-mile road race benefiting the Southern Appalachian Highland Conservancy. You'll run through a challenging and scenic course that takes runners on a mix of pavement and gravel roads through North Asheville. You can share your love of running, push your limits, and enjoy Asheville's natural beauty at the second annual Flying Squirrel 10-miler. For more information and to get signed up, go to justrunning.com. JUS Proudly sponsored by iHeartMedia, Asheville.
At Ingles, we are proud to introduce our all-new curbside service. Just visit shop.ingles-markets.com or download the app to order, and our friendly staff will bring your groceries right to your car and have you ready to go in no time. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
I believe real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
The Sportsocracy.
We treat star athletes better because they're better people.
That's not fair.
Life isn't fair, kiddo. Get used to it.
Back in the Ingles studio on ESPN Asheville, this is the Sportsocracy. Follow us on all the social medias at the Sportsocracy and get all the details on our brand new contest. So we did the Battle for the Belt last year. Fun.
And we will be doing that again this year.
We will be doing it again this year. But this year, there's a new chance for you to have a one-of-a-kind fantasy football experience. Not just playing with us every week, as we know you thoroughly enjoy, but we have put together the ultimate fantasy draft weekend contest, where you can get into the contest. You don't have to play with us each and every week. You can get in this just to win the ultimate fantasy weekend for you and your league.
This is capped at 12-team leagues because we don't have all of the things are planned for 12 or less. So just know that will be a thing. But we're going to have a 3-day weekend for your draft. It's a red carpet experience, and there's a lot that goes into this. We're working on just making this the biggest thing possible. The reason we're doing it so early is because we want your input on it. So as of right now, signups are open. It is on our Facebook page. They will be open until July 15th. That is the end of the registration process. We will pick our winners. We'll have the grand prize winner. We'll have 10 more that are in the show league with us, and then we will move into the Battle for the Belt. The initial surge is for Tools for Schools with Eblin Charities, and the second half is for the Eblin Charities St. Nicholas Project.
Yes, $5 gets you a ticket into the Ultimate Fantasy Draft Contest drawing. $25, you get more tickets, plus you get your entry to the Battle for the Belt contest, same as it was last year, with some new twists to make it a little more interesting. We got a $50 tier and a $100 tier as well that will come with the Mullet Man and the Canadan draft kit for 2023.
We also have a business tier that we haven't talked about. If you own a business and you would like to be a part of this as a sponsor for the event itself, there is a tier for that. You can also send us a message. It would be at Jeremy or Tank at thesportsocracy.com, and we will custom fit something to your business.
Indeed, the Ultimate Fantasy Draft Contest getting underway here in the Sportsocracy. Just another way that we try to give back to you. We will be with you tomorrow, right back here on ESPN Asheville at 3 o'clock.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Mountain thunderstorms coming in from the northwest tonight. Temperatures in the upper 50s in the valley. We'll see scattered thunderstorms around for the Tuesday forecast. Got a little front hanging out in the neighborhood, giving us some clouds here top of the work week. I think we'll push that on through Wednesday, Thursday. Lower humidity. Sunshine returns to Asheville Temperatures in the low 70s and lows at night in the 50s Wednesday, Thursday. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is stopped on 26 eastbound between I-40 and mile marker 35. Heavy traffic on 26 westbound between NC 280 and 146. I-40 westbound is at a standstill between 209 and 276. Heavy traffic on 25 southbound between I-40 and Overlook Road. More stop and go on 25 alternate heading southbound between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. And slow traffic on 240 eastbound between US 19 and US 70. I'm Elena Vegso with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Maytag.
Maytag month, it's got it going on. It's all you want with the savings all month long.
Upgrade to the performance you need on all Maytag major appliances during May is Maytag month.
Maytag month is going on.
Spring in the South means the return of Atlanta Braves baseball.
There's a liner out towards center field. It will lay down. Here comes Ronald. Braves win it.
The 2023 Braves load up for another huge season.
The Braves play here on ESPN Asheville.
Careless debris burning is the leading cause of wildfires in North Carolina. Before you burn, take a look at the weather and avoid burning on dry, windy days. Never leave your fire unattended. You are the best defense against wildfires. Learn more at ncforestservice.gov.
From the Ingalls Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.